base training. You'll then graduate as a level 7 official, which means you can take charge of county level games. But hold your horses, there's still a long way to go to get to the Premier League. Your next step is to spend a year each at levels 6, 5 and 4. This covers the top of the amateur game. Only at level 3 do you start doing Northern Counties or Isthmian League level games, for example. If you've done this all quickly, you can reach level 2 and ref your first National League match after, I don't know, 6 years? After getting enough experience at that level, you can apply to be a referee in the EFL. There's an interview, people watching you do games, and then, if the EFL are happy, you'll be granted a level 1 licence to ref in games in League 2 and above. Now, they don't just say on you go to the Premier League, you have to work your way up through the divisions. Only after years of hard work and refereeing on cold Tuesday nights in Stoke can you be considered to do matches in some of Europe's very best stadiums. Now, who was the youngest to reach the very top? It was actually Michael Oliver. He reffed his first Premier League match in 2010 at the tender age of just 25. So if you want to follow in his footsteps, crack on. It'll only take you roughly a decade, thousands of hours of work and an incredibly thick skin. In total, there are 37,000 registered referees across England, but the PGMOL has only deemed 21 good enough for the top flight. That means there's not even a 1 in 1,000 chance you'll even make it in. Obviously, referees can make mistakes, but when you think about it, having a go at them is kind of like slating a brain surgeon.
Good morning, welcome along to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne, assistant to the former Chelsea and Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Scotland could secure a playoff place with a win over Belarus this evening.
The brief was qualify for tournaments. We've managed to do that twice, but we want to do it again because we're all greedy.
Go on, Steve, you can do it. England take on Latvia on Tuesday, hoping to claim automatic qualification to the World Cup.
There's enough talent in this squad to be brilliant on their day. There's no doubt about that. I think the last 3 games I've been quite buoyed up by it.
Yep, the words of Mr Stuart Pearce there, and there's a big day in the Women's Super League ahead of us. Chelsea host Spurs at lunchtime.
Every opposition team, when they face Chelsea, they will be super motivated, so we need to be ready for the challenge.
Chelsea head coach Sonia Bonpastor there. We're going to get into all of that and discuss a day yesterday in internationals. We'll look ahead to a busy week as well. Let's hear from you this morning. 81089 is the text number, and if you fancy a little blether, 03717 223344. It's Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Morning. Good morning, Cass.
Good morning, Shebahn.
How are you?
Yeah, good.
How was yesterday?
Yeah, got home, watched a bit of golf. Watch who I think one day is going to be a superstar, Marco Penge, who's a young English golfer.
Oh, nice.
Who's leading in Spain.
Good.
Absolute talent, drives the ball a mile like most younger players do, but he's leading out in Spain. And watched a bit of that golf because I've had an interest in it. I like a little dabble in a little bet now and again.
We know that.
And so Penge is one of my players I follow. And he was sensational golf yesterday, by the way. He's some talent. He's going to be a massive name in golf.
Oh, interesting. How old is he?
Ryder Cup. I'm not sure what age Marco is, but in golfing terms, he's young. I think he's been around for a while, but I think he's in his mid-20s, sort of 27.
Yeah, he's 27.
Is he 27?
Yeah. Yeah, he's 27.
About 27.
Morning, Marco.
Yeah, very marketable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lad that...
I thought that.
He's very marketable as a talent. I watched him play, and he's going to be next Ryder Cup. I'd be amazed if he doesn't make it.
Yeah.
When it's in Ireland, and because he's a real talent. He's very Rory-like as in his distance, and he's a bit taller, slimmer, but his agility is extraordinary. How he swings a club. I'm sure your other half, Jamie, will know a bit about him.
Oh, don't, honestly. All he does is talk about golf.
A bit like me.
Go marry
so,
golf.
Then obviously waited for the Republic of Ireland's game in Portugal.
You know.
Disappointing. What a courageous effort, by the way, by the Republic of Ireland. So, well, it was so close, and look, standout features, O'Brien, Kelleher in goal, saves a Ronaldo penalty. Seamus Coleman at 37 playing right back, and just his experience, it just typified the whole night, and fair play to him. Look, they've got beat late in the game, but it was a hell of an effort. You could say, well, we didn't really offer too much, but defended brilliantly, stopping a very talented Portuguese team in every position. They got great players, and it was a hard one to take.
Yeah.
Really was.
It was. I mean, especially in that fashion, and there were so many big moments as well for Ireland, and it to happen the way it did. What a shame.
Yeah, and, like I said, uncompromising. I thought Nathan Collins played much better than he did against Armenia. Not that wasn't that hard anyway, but I felt he stepped up, a captain's performance. So there was a lot of good things. I think our midfield is a little bit of an issue, because our best footballing midfielder, I think, is Josh Cullen, and he was probably the poorest on the night.
Right.
Mulumby, I thought, played better. Ryan Manning as well, I thought they contributed. And you need your best footballer in your side to be a bit more creative. Evan Ferguson was isolated probably a bit too often, but honestly, the performance had a lot of courageous effort, and like you'd expect, but they got beat by the death.
Yeah, a few results in World Cup qualifying last night. Spain beat Georgia 2-0. Estonia were beaten by Italy 3-1. Norway was 5-0 over Israel. Erling Haaland hat-trick, and also missed 2 penalties. That's weird, isn't it?
Didn't he get 5 in a previous game?
Yeah.
So he's got 5.
Last international, he got 5.
Yeah, he got 5. So he's missed 2 penalties, and he could have had 5 again. I think would have been a first. I don't think anybody's done that.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Also, I kind of feel a
disappointing hat trick then.
Yeah, could have been better, Erling. Up your game, pal. I feel a little bit bad about this one now, because here's the moment that Portugal beat Ireland.
Mais cruzamento, boa bola, golo!
There's something about certain commentaries with the accent, isn't it? That just makes it sound so much. Well, it's just because it's different to us. But I always remember listening to South American accents, and when the World Cups were on we go back to Argentina in '78, and just listening to some of the commentaries was just brilliant.
Yeah,
because they get so excited over a goal.
Even when we were speaking to Scott Wells yesterday from the NFL. When I hear NFL commentary, I love it. I love the enthusiasm of Americans on commentary kind of thing. I'd quite like to hear it.
I don't know if I could hear it every week. I think it would drive you a bit crazy, because it'd be over the top and who can go the furthest. But I do like in these one-off sort of experiences of World Cups, or you get these. Mexico was like it in 1970, the commentary.
Yeah, when Celtic went out of the Champions League there against Kairat Almaty. The guys one day, just for a laugh, they played the commentary of that moment from Kazakhstan. And the guy, they were going absolutely bonkers, and it was really good to hear, obviously, because it was amazing for Kairat, but at the same time I was fuming.
It's
just smile through it and say well done.
Yeah, it's a skill. I've been lucky enough. I've worked alongside and witnessed quite a few different commentators along the way, and they all have some of it. They're ready for that one line that they can use, and they might not ever use it as well.
That's that. Preparing these one lines, commentary is such a skill. I mean,
Well, you have to react to what you see is the biggest skill of all.
Whilst given so much detail and statistics.
Yeah, details. I think the change in commentary has come that years gone by, Shebahn, you would always hear, if you didn't have to, you could close your eyes and you could know what was happening because the commentator would say who's on the ball. So he'd say pass from, I don't know, Go Island, McGrath to Keane to Brady. You know, they'd talk so they'd know where you are on the pitch. But a lot of commentators in the modern game, I've noticed that they don't quite say the player's name so often. They'll talk in between about other things quite a lot. You know, which is different, and it doesn't mean it's not interesting for the listener.
I actually love seeing commentary prep. I don't know, you're not on social media, so you won't really see it as much anymore, but quite often now you'll see like the different media provided outlets.
Well, you've told me I've got till Christmas. You're going to get me on it.
I'm signing you up. You've already got a new handle.
So
you don't
that
even know
means
what handle is, do you?
first a chance will I be sacked?
Tony will be on Instagram by Christmas, whether he likes it or not. Because all I get now is DMs like, can you tell Tony this, that, and the next thing?
Yeah.
Do you know what a DM is?
Yeah, it's a message, isn't it?
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Okay, you're more on at that.
So, yeah. You sent me one last night.
Yeah, I feel like I've turned into your PA. I just get given messages now to pass on to you. It's nice, though. Everyone wants to get in touch.
Yeah, of course there's nice parts for it, but I just find myself, could I be doing it every moment of every day? No chance. No chance.
Yeah, probably not. By the way, Erling Haaland became the 6th man to score 50 international goals in fewer than 50 caps.
Yeah.
How many international goals did you get?
19.
Okay.
Don't ask me how many caps because there's nothing compared to...
How many caps?
88.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, 88 caps.
That's great.
But it's, me and Noel Quinn basically sort of shared the centre forward role. Jack Charlton loved me and Noel Quinn used to room together, and we joked in the room. Say, see, when we went to the game and we shook our hands just before, whoever started would say, "Well, I'll see you after 60 minutes anyway."
Yeah.
Because we were shaking hands because Jack would either take me off or put me on, and vice versa for Quinny.
Yeah.
So me and Quinny used to room together and laugh and say, "Well, we're going to bump into each other anyway along the way."
Did you
ever we played one game together. It was the Romania game that got us to the quarter-final of the World Cup. I came on very early on in the game, and me and Quinny played together, and it was literally, we were firing balls in for everywhere.
Did it work? Yeah.
Well, there weren't any big chances in the game because Romania at that time in 1990 were a really good side. They had some Hadji was still playing, you know, and others that were really good. But me and Quinny did play together on that one occasion it went into extra time, so it went plus 90 minutes.
Lovely. Did you ever wish that you made it to 100 caps, or do you not think like that?
Didn't really.
88 seems so close, but
yeah,
didn't. It's a 2-year.
Never thought about it, Shebahn.
Yeah.
Never thought about 100 caps.
Yeah.
I felt I was blessed going to the Euros in 88, 90 World Cup in the 94. That was my go-to. Playing, you know, against certain oppositions in world football, Germany, obviously England and other teams. But yeah, Republic of Ireland, I never felt the 100 cap thing. It didn't seem the most important. I was just play as many caps as I got. Yeah. And I said to Mick McCarthy, like I said to Jack Charlton, if you need me, I'll come along. And I didn't retire. I just said, if you need me, which is what I did after Jack Charlton left, Mick McCarthy took over. I just was like, if Mick needs me, call me up and I'll come.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you need, we needed players. So even if it was players coming to the end of their career, we didn't have the depth of talent that certainly I've talked about at length with other countries.
Yeah, and it's not been the same since, which is a shame. And last night, then, such a missed opportunity. All that said, okay, you're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Didn't go to plan there at all. We just went down.
No, just went.
I quite liked it. It's international break, okay? Don't at us. You're listening to Weekend Breakfast. Coming up next, we're actually going to discuss the fallout from the Ryder Cup stateside. It's all kicking off. This is Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Morning. Good morning, you're listening to Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne and former Villa striker Tony Cascarino. Have you watched The Greatest Showman?
Yes, I have seen it. Yeah, go on.
Think I look like the bearded lady?
It was okay. It's not bad.
Amazing.
Maybe a bit, yeah. I mean, he's great. Jackman, isn't it? Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. Say his name again?
Hugh.
But you said Q.
No,
the Irish way. Q.
No, my yeah, no, Jackman's in it. Yeah, the Wolverine as well, hasn't he done?
Is
it Wolverine?
He's Wolverine. Was he not in something recently with Ryan Reynolds as well? One of the superhero nonsense
Not
movies,
sure.
Deadpool or something.
Well, no, but yeah, I've seen it. Not bad. I'm probably unfair because it's better than not bad.
To be fair, I don't think you were their target audience initially.
What does that mean?
Like, I don't think they were targeting. I think they were going for maybe a little bit younger.
Yeah, okay.
Younger.
I'll take that. Yeah.
But the musical theatre.
Yeah, but it's very.
Unbelievable. I loved it.
I know. I watched it with my next door neighbours when I was living in Hertfordshire. I remember them coming round and we watched it, and they loved it.
Yeah.
And I, you know, when you sort of think, I've got to like it more than I have.
Yeah.
Thinking.
I know, absolutely. Cass is going home on Spotify later with The Greatest Showman soundtrack. By the way, we're playing this because Hugh Jackman is 57 today. Happy birthday, Hugh Jackman.
How old is he?
57.
He looked cool. He looked amazing.
He looks so well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's the thing about Hollywood. I saw a thing online recently and it was like, don't worry, you're not broke. No, sorry, you're not ugly, you're just broke.
That's pretty
when you've got money, you can just look better, can't you? When you've got Hollywood
Yeah, of course
money.
it does. It adds, you can do a lot, can't you, with money?
Yeah, exactly.
Male or female.
Just get a full new face, please.
Yeah. Just think of where we're going to be in 50 years' time.
I know. I know.
What is going to be available then?
I know.
You know, people are
selecting
look at
life
ages
already.
over centuries. It's like the age has doubled in 400 or 500 years. It's doubled.
Has
From
it?
It's like it used to be a certain period. It was like 37 years old. Go back a few hundred years. Was 37 years old was the average age of death.
Was it?
Yeah. You just look it up. You've got the age of, you know, obviously. We're going really deep here, but obviously, you know, look at medicine and what was achieved by medicine. We are living so much longer. I always say, if you don't believe money doesn't take care of you, as in gives you a much better chance of staying, just look at the royals. Very few royals.
Oh my goodness, I know.
Die young. Very few, and it will probably be accidents or something. You know, a tragedy of some sort. It's not normally through illness. They all seem to survive everything because they're being checked up, having the best treatment,
The best care. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it obviously plays a part.
We have gone very deep this morning, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have. It's International Weekend.
No, I know.
But yeah, the age thing has doubled over the hundreds of years. It's you know.
Yeah.
But then we were, you know, plagues around and other things.
We're going to talk about Ryder Cup in just a second. I've just pulled something really, really weird out of my pocket. Lost these jeans a wee while ago. My sister sent them down from her room. She's like, "Oh, I've got these jeans. Are these yours?" I went, "Oh yeah." I put them on, and I've dug out something from the pocket. A baby tooth.
That is
A baby tooth. Don't worry, they are. It's from obviously the tooth fairy had a job to do this day. I don't know if you can see that if you're watching on the smart TV. A tiny little tooth.
Yeah.
That's my daughter's. What's the most random thing you've pulled out your pocket? Have a little think. 8, 10, 89. That's a tiny little tooth.
So that's less than a 1 year. That's a 1 year old. Like, yeah.
Oh no, that'd be about a 5-year-old.
Oh,
that's probably
that is
a bit
tiny.
Yeah.
Wow.
The first tooth. But obviously I've gone out to work, been wearing these jeans. Tooth fairies had a job to do, and I forgot it's there the whole time.
Yeah. Now you haven't put it under a pillow though.
I better not lose that. I should try and keep that.
You put it under a pillow. You give her a.
No, I'm not going to give her tooth back. A year later, that tooth turns up. I've had so many questions. 8, 10, 89. What's the most random thing you've found in your pocket? God, we are down the rabbit hole. Bear with us. We're going to talk about the Ryder Cup now.
Yeah.
And the fallout that continues after the Americans' defeat. Their 15-13 defeat at Bethpage. You've been actually reading quite a lot about that cast and everything that's been going on there, because it's all kind of kicking off there. They've got to do something, especially looking at Ireland in 2 years' time.
Well, when the dust has settled, and it has, and now we're looking back and we're looking all the reaction of, you know, what went wrong for the Americans, but it's also taking a bigger picture, as in where is golf with Liv, because of the Liv Tour and the obviously the Middle East or the Saudis invested more than $1 billion into this project of making it really competitive. And I ask you a question, and probably many listeners, I had no idea. I couldn't name one of the live winners of any of the tournaments in the last year. John Ram didn't win any tournament, I know that, and he was the big one. He went to live as the world #1 with a huge pay packet. But you know, they're all under contract, Shebahn, and the contracts will be ending. Some of the contracts are going to be ending now, because I think there's like 2-3 year contracts and some beyond. But, you know, there is a massive battle that's been going on, and the PGA is starting to win it because the Live Golf is fighting for any recognition at all.
Yeah.
And that's a problem for the golf. How much are they going to... They've gone from 1.2 billion to 1.4 billion investment, and there's very little to show for it.
It's funny that you mentioned that because, I mean, it's Joaquin Neiman.
Yes, Joaquin Neiman.
Neiman, he had 5 wins for Live in the last year.
Yeah, he's been the big star, but a lot of people wouldn't know Neiman.
I mean, I like golf,
yeah,
but I haven't. I'm not completely aware of Neiman's work.
Yeah, I mean, there's loads. I mean, Tyrrell Hatton went across to the tour. There's been the older players, but PGA has fought back. It rose the amounts of the prize pool. It's been grown enormously. It's like 30% higher than it was like 2 or 3 years ago.
That's crazy.
Because the PGA wanted to battle back. But there's also the problem of the Ryder Cup, because the Americans lost, and now the decisions are Tiger Woods doesn't particularly want it, and the idea of anyone taking it because it's an away leg, they're not so sure. There's even been talk of, you know, whether Keegan Bradley might go again, or would it be right? And that seems really daft to us because he lost. But there was loads of mistakes by the Americans, which they're all coming to terms with at the moment, about the setup of the course. The course was a joke, as in Bethpage is not a bad course. Anyone who says that has played there as an amateur or gone there as a person just to play the golf course has said it's way tougher than the pros are playing. The pros are getting the easy part of the course because they cut the rough down, so it wasn't rough to them. It became a putting competition more than anything, and so there's been fallout from that as well. Why was the course so easy for the pros? Yeah. You look at the scoring is ridiculously low. The Europeans were phenomenal. The scoring of the European players, the foursomes, 4 balls, was so many under par. The numbers are huge. And the Americans didn't play that bad, but beaten by incredible first 2 days by the Europeans.
How long do we have to wait again before we learn who the next captains are? I mean, it's actually not that far.
Look, well, I think they can take their time. I don't know when there is
it's not like a
dateline.
Specific, yeah.
No,
yeah.
But you know, there's calls of Luke Donald, who's been so successful in the 2 campaign. He's been unbelievable with data. Yeah. He's used it at every metric to get the Europeans to a super level. He's even organised the preparation, not just about what they do in the golf course, the preparation of when they went to America. They went there and all played the courses and were playing together way before. The Europeans, when they played in Rome, the Americans, when they came into Rome, some of them turned up just a couple of days before the Ryder Cup started. Yeah. You know, no preparation at all. So there's a lot being looked at the Ryder Cup. The fallout has been pretty severe from the American side.
Big backlash indeed. I think it'll be early next year when we learn who the captains will be. It's an interesting one, though, how they can kind of turn it around and fix it and get the fans back on side.
Well, you know, simple things like, you know, Keegan Bradley running around with the American flag on his back, and a golf tournament. I'm thinking, Keegan, there were certain things that were used in the dressing room or the locker room of the European team to say these are the reasons why we have to beat these. You know, some of the things that have happened in the past and some in the present.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That image for me, and you know, what was the quote? Shane Lowry then got the picture with the trophy. We're going to. So it would beat the whatever out of them.
Yeah,
just all those quotes.
There's loads of stuff being said and done, and I find it really interesting, the fallout from the American side. Yeah, who clearly lost and were humiliated, even though the scoreline ended 15-3. But there was a lot of issues in the first 2 days.
The first 2 days were shambles.
Yeah. US. So even they're talking about the substitution rule coming into golf, which I'm not so sure on as well, because. Obviously, the 12th man, Hovland, pulled out because of an injury, so they had to take one of their players out, and the Europeans got half a point. But now the Americans are saying we think we want the substitutions impacting golf, which is, well, okay, well, you might start with one substitution, but like everything where you flood markets, you'll end up 4 Ryder Cups down the line, you're allowed 3 substitutions. And, you know, I just find they're looking for ways of actually changing, which is an amazing format.
Yeah. I agree with you. Fascinating stuff, though. Yeah. You are listening to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we're going to talk about Newcastle. They've got a new sporting director. Are things starting to settle down at St James's Park after a difficult summer? 03717 22 3344 is the number, or 81089 if you want to send a text. Morning. morning. It's Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. We're live on your radio, we're on your smart TV, and we're on your YouTube channel as well. It's Shebahn Aherne and former Celtic striker Tony Cascarino. Good morning to Ozzy in Brighton.
Yeah.
1089. He said, most random thing I've found in my pocket.
Go on.
My girlfriend's sister's pants. Now, Ozzy, it's no good look.
I can't say nothing.
Cass!
I can't say nothing to that. I have no answer to that.
Best one so far. Most random thing you've found in your pocket. I just found my daughter's first tooth. Her baby tooth.
Oh, that's lovely though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah.
Bit weird having a tooth in your pocket, but obviously I must have done the tooth fairy job very early that morning before going out to work and thought, I'll keep it in my pocket, and I haven't worn these jeans in ages, and there you go.
Yeah.
Little cute tooth.
I found a packet of money in a pocket, but not in my trouser pocket.
How much money?
Well, it's a bit embarrassing.
Oh, wait, no.
It was quite a lot.
Go on.
I'd gone to the casino and I'd played a tournament, and I got quite a large payout, which was about 130,000 in a tournament.
Oh my God.
Okay, and I took some in money, and I took a bank transfer, because obviously if you do the bank transfer, you know, it's okay. It goes from the casino to your account. And I had a particular jacket on this night, and 3 years later, I hadn't worn this jacket, and I put it on, and there was 2,500 in a package, like it wrapped up with a casino in it, and I completely forgot that it was there. I took my money, got out, and left one packet of money in cash.
I literally hate you right now.
No, honestly, it was literally 3 years down the line. I put my jacket on. There was a 2,500, because it's all sealed.
Yeah.
The money from the casino. It was sealed in my packet, in my jacket pocket, and I remember thinking, "Oh,
what'd you spend it on? We cheeky trip to
I don't know. I probably wasted it. I wasted most of it.
back to the casino. Give it back.
You know, it's a bit of a weird story, but I found
Right, yeah.
a large amount of money that because of the confusion. Imagine you won a tournament. After all because you can do a deal in a poker tournament. So the first prize was 170, but the second and me, we done a deal. So I could because there's 170 say for first and 115 for second. So we ended up doing, they would do 130 each, okay, and then the difference we'll play for, which isn't a lot. Do you see what I mean?
Right.
So I took 130, he got 130, even though I got a bit more because I ended up winning it.
Right.
Because I took the extra bit of money. So
sound like Ocean's 11 over there.
yeah, it's because you sometimes do deals, but I did that at a particular time. That's why I forgot I had the money in the pocket, because I took some in cash and took a very large part of it in the transfer.
Well, you can let us know the random things you've found in your pocket. 81089. Mine was a tooth. His was £2,500. Lucky
Yeah, I
me.
feel a bit embarrassed about that, because it's like
You're an
how could
absolute
how
you're a
could
disgrace.
You forget that purely because I did celebrate quite hard that night. By the way, after winning it,
It makes sense. Fair enough, by the way. Some of your other headlines going around this Sunday morning. Erling Haaland scored a hat-trick in Norway's 5-0 win versus Israel last night as they look to qualify for their first World Cup since 1998. That's mad, isn't it, Norway?
Yeah.
One of the best strikers in the world.
well, he's missed. You know what you want to see in America next year is Erling Haaland being there.
Yeah.
You want that.
Yeah,
You've got to be there. They were there in '94, by the way.
Yeah.
They were in our group, Norway.
Were they really?
Republic of Ireland group, yeah. We drew with them 0-0 in New York, and we had to get a draw to qualify to go through, and we did.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Newcastle, Cass, because they've appointed Nottingham Forest's Chief Football Officer Ross Wilson as their sporting director. He's the replacement for Paul Mitchell, who lasted less than 12 months in the role. Newcastle were scratching around in the market this summer without a sporting director. Caused some problems, didn't it, for Eddie Howe? He was head of the recruitment and seeing the club miss out on a number of targets. However, they did sign Nick Valdemata at the end of the window. How concerned would you be for Nottingham Forest now that their chief football officer has departed, and with Ange Postecoglou coming to the club and things been a little bit unstable in terms of results too?
Yeah, well, it's been, look, on Nottingham Forest, it's been a really tricky start to the season. Yeah. You know, that so much went well last year, it feels like the complete opposite now. You know, we've seen the manager go. Look, big thing was keeping Morgan Gibbs-White at the start of the season with a new contract. He hasn't played like he's signed a new deal. He's been pretty poor since he's a really talented player. They need him. You know, they've got the Elliot Anderson issue because that will come one by the end of the season, because there'll be a lot of clubs that are going to go in with big money to try and get Elliot Anderson away from Forest. So the owner's under a sort of a different pressure. Right. And then when you're losing sporting directors and, you know, whoever at football clubs, if they play a big role, I mean, you know, we're looking at, you know, Ross Wilson now going to Newcastle. What a big plus for them. And by the way, just not on Forest, but on Newcastle. Newcastle have had a pretty decent start to the season. I know they're 11th. Look at the 3 teams they've lost to this season.
Yeah.
Arsenal, Liverpool, Barcelona, right? So they've lost to Barcelona in the Champions League and Liverpool. And also they started the first 2 games of the season in the Premier League. They didn't score. They clearly missed Isak. Clearly, you know, not having him. If you take the first game of the season, what I watched was Villa away. Newcastle had loads of chances. Anthony Gordon played centre forward. Yeah. And had chances. If they had a centre forward that day, they would have won at Villa Park. They are in a false position, Newcastle, at the moment. They will climb up the table. I'm certain of that.
And how much of an effect do you think this new appointment will have in terms of that support role for Eddie Howe? Because when you're trying to be a coach, when you're trying to manage a team and a squad of players, and then you're also part doing recruitment in the summer, and your main man is playing up the way Isak played up over the summer.
It's a hard one. It's impossible. Your best player literally gets his head turned.
He let you down.
Yeah, and well, yeah. Look, this has happened many a time in football. Your best player decides he wants to leave the football club, and then you're left in a really difficult scenario. You've got to find a replacement. You end up losing Sesko to Manchester United. You have other targets. Look, Eddie needs a man alongside him, because obviously the relationship with Paul Mitchell wasn't quite right. You heard the comments by Eddie, and, you know, the reason why he left is because there was an issue there, I'm sure.
Yeah, go on.
You know, so, you know, hopefully it's got to be, Ross Wilson's got to work alongside Eddie in making his job easier, because Eddie's got the weight of the job anyway. So he needs someone alongside him that's going to, you know, work together. It's like your data team. You know, all the stuff that you need, your information. You know, you've got to work alongside them. They'll give you some stuff you really need and stuff you don't need. But you have to have that unity within a team.
What's your expectation of Newcastle this season? I mean, honestly...
Top 6.
Top 6. Try and get another trophy. Is that possible?
No, I think if they can make Champions League football again from a very difficult start, like I said, their first couple of games, they got to, you know, they drew at Leeds. They drew at Leeds and drew at Villa early on, didn't score. I think Leeds won 1-0, I think. Anyway, but they didn't score. So, look, Newcastle will be fine. There isn't an issue at all. Not a problem. Don't even think it's an issue. They are a side that could make the top 4, but at the very best. Obviously, if Valderweireld works as well, you know.
Yeah, he looks the part.
If he works, that's a massive plus.
Yeah.
You know, because he's a very different type of centre forward. They haven't had Visser also play yet because he's been injured.
True.
So they'll have choices up front soon.
This is it. Coming up after the break, they've got Brighton away, then Fulham at home and West Ham away. That's the next 3 maximum points available there.
Well, they'll get a few. I just don't see any. Their midfield is really strong. Defensively, they don't, you know, set pieces. Pope is a decent keeper. There's a lot of good things about Newcastle.
Exactly that. Coming up for you here on talkSPORT today, it's the Sunday edition at 10 o'clock. Sean Custis and Henry Winter are going to be here, joined in the studio by Crystal Palace chairman Steve Parish among their guests. That'll be a good listen. And then at the 12 o'clock, of course, it's the warm-up with Max and Barry. 2 o'clock, Sam Matterface brings you all of the updates live and all of the sport in action today, all of the goals as they go in from the Women's Super League. We're also going to be covering all of the action from the NFL at the Spurs Stadium too.
Versus the New York Jets at 1:30 p.m. on Game Day Live with Sam Matterface. And then we have full commentary with Will Gavin over on talkSPORT 2, plus 2 more games after. It's the Denver Broncos, Bo Nix and Sean Payton, who are coming off the biggest win of the NFL weekend, versus the Jets New York Jets, who are 0-5 and searching for their first win at Tottenham.
Brian T. Smith, our US sports writer, across everything there. And talkSPORT's final word takes your calls from 6:30 this evening. And then 9 o'clock, your Sunday evening is sealed up with Danny Kelly on the Trans Euro Express. Another great day coming up for you here on talkSPORT. It's Weekend Breakfast. Good morning. World's gone nuts, Cass. The world has gone completely and utterly bonkers. Discussing something on air there. Off air there, sorry. Random. Anyway, stories for another time. You listen to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Marseille striker Tony Cascarino, who's fiddling with his...
Oh, don't.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's the one. I've got it.
Yeah, you got it?
Earpiece. Sorry, everybody.
Stick that in. Wait.
That's it. I'm back on.
Hear it. You're live. And you're live. Some of your other headlines.
Whatever fell out your ear, that's the next test.
Wrong ear, Cass. Wrong ear. Some of your headlines. Luke Littler will face Luke Humphries in the World Grand Prix final after his 5-1 win against John Clayton. It was a sobering night for British heavyweight Dave Allen, who lost points in his return boxing fight for Makhmudov. God, one day I'll say his name right. Sorry, Makhmudov. Don't worry, I get called Siobhan like every day of my life.
See the guy he's the one that was it?
Fought a bear?
Fought a bear. I fought the bear and the bear won.
Well, actually, the bear lost.
Yeah.
Did the bear lose?
We know how big this bear is. Is it a real grizzly?
A little cute,
I'm not having
bear.
Yeah, it's going to be a teddy bear.
Baby bears are so cute, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Sometimes
cuddle one, though.
when I'm feeling a wee bit blue, I just watch panda videos.
Oh right.
Pandas are so cute, so daft.
Yeah.
Rolling about, tumbling about. Anyway, a successful day for Hull KR yesterday in the Super League Grand Final as they won 24-6. Grand Final. Here's how it sounded for you on talkSPORT.
2025 is the year of the Robin.
They've won the Challenge Cup. They've won the League Leaders' Shield. And now, for the first time in their history, they are the Super League Grand Final winners.
Oh, unbelievable. The first time in their history. What a moment for the team. What a moment for the fans. There's more than this on our website, by the way, at talksport.com. We're going to get stuck in today's WSL action. We've got 6 matches, including our live TalkSport 2 commentary. Chelsea take on Spurs this afternoon. I'm heading to the Emirates later. Do you want to come?
Can't today.
Oh, busy. Washing his hair.
What's left of it?
He's clinging on for dear life.
I say, when people ask me, they got wavy hair, it's waving goodbye.
Don't worry. Remember with the money that you
I know. I don't.
get you some injections up there and it'll all come back.
I'm going to go off Craig really quickly. I've told this before, but my dad wore a wig all his life.
Did he? Fair play.
Yeah, he did it in the 70s. None of my friends knew my dad had no hair.
Like a toupee or a full wig?
Toupee, full wig, yeah.
And it looked the part.
And when he first did it, it was unbelievable because he was younger and he didn't. But as he aged, obviously the colour of your hair that grows at the bottom, because my dad was completely bald at 19.
19? Wow,
19,
that is
yeah.
young, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, own it, but then at the same time, hair is such a big part of...
Yeah, now it doesn't matter. It's cool. You know what I mean? Guys who shave their heads can look great.
Yeah, but also if you get what's called like a transplant, or my brother's got alopecia,
right.
And I think he had something done. He got the transplant,
right?
Kind of thing. I think, well, if it makes you feel better,
of course it does.
You're
the one who's having to deal with it. Yeah. I'm so easy going and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I say, well, you're the one who wants to live it. If you want to, look good, it makes you feel good. Great, go and do it.
Cassowary toupee for the show. You can model it out in the smart TV. We'll give you rankings out of 10 for your toupee. Like I say, WSL action today. Joining us now for more is our reporter, Uma Gurav. Good morning, Uma.
Good morning.
Uma,
how
sorry,
are you?
Uma. Me and Shebahn.
Somebody with a good head of hair is Uma Gurav.
Or is it? You never know.
Yeah. So tell us, Uma, come on, what's coming up? Shebahn said 6 games today. Tell us what your pickouts are.
Well, I'm heading down to Chelsea Spurs, as Shebahn mentioned there. The leaders at the moment, not by much, going up against Spurs, who have been this season's kind of surprise package. They've done really well under their new manager, Martin Ho. They've only been beaten once, so possibly they're looking to pull off a shock against Chelsea. Chelsea obviously not having the best week. They drew midweek in their Champions League opener, despite everyone saying, this is the year that they have to win it. So we will see if they can kind of get anything out of this game. As for Arsenal, Shebahn mentioned as well, she's heading down to the Emirates because they're hosting Brighton. This is a really interesting match.
This is an interesting game, isn't it, Uma?
It really is. I mean, it's like we were saying earlier with Leanne Thompson on the Women's Football Show. It's like the Michelle Adjumang derby.
Yeah.
Obviously, she can't play, but Arsenal, without a win in their last 4 games in all competitions, that's their joint worst run ever in the WSL era, which is... it's just not the place they want to be. And, we talk about Arsenal coming off the back of that Champions League winning season, and now they can't buy a win, really. So, yeah, Renee Slagers has been using the great Roger Federer in training to try and get them back up, I think.
What's the Roger Federer chat, Uma?
This is great. If you haven't seen this, go and check this out, because Roger Federer's got this speech where he talks about in his career, he's one of the all-time greats. We will always remember him as that. But if you go back and break it down, he only won 54% of all the points he played in his career. And he talks about that and how actually it's not about, necessarily being good every single time you go out and play. It's about picking yourself back up and playing each point as it comes. He says, I never thought about the points I lost after I played them. I just got back out there and won the next one. And I think for Arsenal now, when you're looking at maybe a situation where your WSL title hopes are hanging in the balance, that's what they have to do. They have to go out there and win what's in front of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a massive fall off of form, isn't it? I mean, being Champions League winners and being so dominant last year.
But see, this is the thing, Cass. I mean, I hate to say it, and I've said it so many times, Uma, you know what I'm like with this, because Uma, in fairness, was like, oh, Arsenal will win the Champions League, and she had all that faith, and it's amazing that they did. Yeah. But their league form at the start of last season was similar, and the season before that was similar. They're losing too many points in what is a small league at the start of the season. They're almost writing themselves out of being title contenders so early on in games that they should be winning. That said, I think you could see a great performance from them, today. Some days they've just got it all in abundance, and then other days I'm thinking they're lacking something there, and they shouldn't.
They've had an incredible investment, the Arsenal.
Huge investment, huge investment. So something's not quite right, Uma. And then even they lost in Champions League midweek on match day 1 against Lyon, 2-1. So that's another problem for them altogether. But what do you reckon today? Do you think it's going to be Arsenal or Brighton? I mean, if they lose to Brighton, they've got problems.
Yeah, and you're looking at a situation then where you're not just talking about the title being out of their reach, you're also looking at the Champions League places and thinking Arsenal aren't even going to get into the Champions League next season, because realistically they're already down in 5th, I think it is. And you just can't, like you say, in a league that's this small, you can't afford to be dropping points like that, because Chelsea aren't, Manchester United actually aren't either, and Man City aren't. And I suppose that's the only good thing we can say about this situation, is that actually it still looks like we've got a 3-horse title race here, I'd say, don't you think, Shebahn?
This is me. I'm looking and going, City without Champions League, it could be their season. Uma, thank you so much. Enjoy the Chelsea game today. Thank you so much for coming on with us.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, Uma.
Chelsea versus Spurs live for you, talkSPORT 2, 12 o'clock this afternoon, and then Arsenal Brighton. All the updates are happening on Game Day Live. Coming up next, we're going to look ahead to a massive game at Hampden Park today, because remember, oh man, you're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT.
Thomas Tuchel's busy trying to bring glory back to England for the first time since '66. But how did he get here? Well, from the sleepy town of Crimbark via some giants of European football, here's his journey to Wembley. Sitting around 60 miles west of Munich, Krimbach's population is less than 14,000 people. But Tuchel's friends there remember a boy whose ambitions lay far beyond the Bavarian community. His will to win was evident early. Tuchel often captained his youth football teams, and his school side lifted the national German football trophy in 1987. The Sport took the young defender on a whistle-stop tour of South Germany, from Augsburg to Stuttgart and then Ulm. A knee injury ended his playing career at the age of 25, though. Tuchel accepted his first coaching role in the Stuttgart youth setup in 2000, hired by none other than Ralf Rangnick. Under Tuchel's stewardship, the club's under-19s won their league title in 2005. But Stuttgart chose not to renew his contract, feeling Tuchel had an abrasive personality. He went on to manage Augsburg's second team before spending 5 years at the helm at Mainz. He then followed in Jurgen Klopp's footsteps and moved from Mainz to Dortmund. Here, Tuchel secured his first major silverware, the German Cup, in 2017. 8 more major trophies came next for Tuchel in just 5 glorious seasons. He won 2 Ligue 1 titles and a pair of domestic cups as PSG boss. At Chelsea, he famously lifted the Champions League, as well as a Super Cup and a Club World Cup, and he also bagged a Bundesliga at Bayern Munich. And then, 4 months after leaving Bayern, Tuchel was unveiled as England's new manager.
I always wanted to come back to England. That was my big goal. I have the best memories of the country, of the league and of the players. The attitude towards the game, the attitude from the supporters.
Well, here's hoping Tuchel can finally drag England over the line at a major tournament.
Good morning. You're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT with Shebahn Aherne and former Marseille striker known as Tony Goal. It's Tony Cascarino. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
We've got lots on the agenda for you today. England take on Latvia on Tuesday, hoping to claim automatic qualification to next year's World Cup.
There's enough talent in this squad to be brilliant on their day. There's no doubt about that. I think the last 3 games I've been quite buoyed up by it.
There's a big day of WSL action ahead for you. Chelsea host Spurs at lunchtime on talkSPORT 2.
Every opposition team, when they face Chelsea, they will be super motivated. So we need to be ready for the challenge.
Chelsea manager Sonia Bonpastor there, and we're going to look ahead to a crucial game for Wales tomorrow. They face the Belgians in World Cup qualifying.
It's a difficult task, but yeah, it's a good game now. It's a good game.
As ever, talkSPORT has you covered. You're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Morning. And today, it's a massive day for Scotland.
Scotland will take all 3 points because they've scored again. Scotland 3, Greece 1.
The brief was qualify for tournaments. We've managed to do that twice, but we want to do it again because we're all greedy.
Right now, don't care how we play. I've got no interest, but I tell you my greater interest is a victory.
Back to Kenny McLean, that's a great ball in! Scotland today is there to score again for Scotland!
We'd love to go to the World Cup. That's obviously the dream. Every Scotland fan's dream, every kid growing up that played football and watching.
He's galvanised the team and the country. He's brought the fans back together with the players when we were really disconnected for a long time.
Every game in a qualification process is really important, and that would put us in a good place going into November, so the players understand what they have to do.
Huge day for the team, for Steve Clarke and for Scotland fans at Hampden Park today. Scotland taking on Belarus. All of the updates for you today on talkSPORT with our David Tanner. If Scotland do win and Denmark defeat Greece, that's Greece out of the reckoning, and Scotland would be guaranteed at least a playoff place as they aim to reach their first World Cup since 1998. Cass, are you feeling optimistic for us?
They got a chance. Good chance. You know, they're playing Belarus, Hampden, you'd like to think. I mean, I think Greece beat Belarus 5-1 recently in September. You know, so they've just beaten Greece 3-1. Okay, fortunate. And I think even diehard Scottish fans would say that the first 60 minutes were hard for the Scottish team. But Stevie Clarke's got a fight inside there, quite clearly. You know, they play like a club team, which I'm sure he wanted trying to instill in Scotland. And I think they'll win today. There's always big tests along the way.
Yeah.
But this is a game they should be winning.
We were chatting yesterday about, Ireland, trying to get to a major tournament for the first time in many, many years, and how amazing it would be for the fans, to go to America. And, Scotland fans at the Euros last summer, absolutely the results were poor, right? And we got absolutely pummeled by Germany in that opening game. But there's nothing like the Tartan Army on tour. There's really nothing like it. And to have them at the World Cup in the US next year would be huge for the tournament, I think.
I would say to that look, I've been in a stadium with the Tartan Army in it, and it is amazing. But I think it's pretty similar with the Welsh fans that travelled in the Euros in 16, Republic of Ireland fans that went to the 90 World Cup, 88 Euros, 94, England fans that we've seen travel in large numbers. We just follow football from these, the home nations, and including Ireland, with huge numbers. It's every one of us. All the from Wales to Northern Ireland, they'll take their huge support. Scotland, England, it's just there.
Yeah. I really want them there. I really do.
That's what I said. When any tournament has any of the teams, and hopefully more than one or two, then you've got a great tournament with huge followings.
Well, everything crossed, it's going to happen, and today will be a step in the right direction for Scotland. We can speak now to a member of the Tartan Army in a bit more detail. Here is Gordon Sheik from the Tartan Scarf podcast. Good morning, Gordon. How are you?
Hi, Gordon.
Good morning, guys. I'm good. It's a beautiful day to be a Scotland fan.
Well, you must be optimistic, Gordon, because as I talked about earlier, that the Greece game was a tough one because for 60 minutes it looked like only one outcome, but you found a way, and that is one of the big qualities I always think Stevie Clarke brings to the Scottish team.
100%. I couldn't agree more. And obviously, we've all seen many Scotland games where we've played very, very well, created buckets of chances, and not gotten the result we deserved. So ultimately, we did it the other way around on Thursday night, and yeah, it just feels like a good place to be. I've thrown on. I thought the France '98 shirt would be the appropriate one to throw on this morning. It is feeling a bit like 1998 around here. I'm old enough to remember. I was a young boy then, but that was my moment that I fell in love with the Scotland team, and I thought, this is brilliant. This is my team. We can go to tournaments, and I can't wait for the next one. Not thinking it would take all of my teens and all of my 20s before we came back. But now under Steve Clarke, we've been twice, but it's time to go back to a World Cup. That's the big one.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. That's 72 games now for Stevie Clarke in charge of Scotland. How do you rate his time?
I mean, it's been phenomenal. It's been absolutely phenomenal. I think Steve Clarke among the fan base can often get a bit of a hard time. Like you said, sometimes the football isn't the most glorious to watch, but the results absolutely speak for themselves. I think it's easy to forget sometimes for fans that when we were in those wilderness years, those wildernesses, we were as deep and dark as you can possibly get. I mean, I can remember in qualifying for the 2014 World Cup, that's only just over 10 years ago, Scotland were actually the first team mathematically eliminated in Europe from qualifying. We took 2 points from the first 6 games. So to be in a place now where, like you say, we've been to a Euros through a playoffs, we've been to a World Cup playoffs after that, we've been to a Euros automatically, and now we've got our fate in our own hands to go to a World Cup. That's all down to Steve Clarke.
Yeah.
So what more can you say?
Got to ask you, because I thought one of the big changes the other night against Greece was Billy Gilmour coming on, and I think he's impacting the game. I would like to think he'll start today against Belarus. I think Billy's a terrific little footballer. The moment I saw him at Wembley against England in the Euros and the way he handled himself, and so good at keeping the ball, how he's, you're talking about Antonio Conte in Napoli speaking so highly of Billy Gilmour. I just think he showed the other night what he can really do for the Scotland team.
Absolutely. He is truly a unique player within this Scotland team. Like you say, the ability to take the ball in on the half turn, to drop to the edge of his own box, to drive to the edge of the opponent's box. He's just that metronome in midfield that will ensure that we have control over possession. We keep the ball moving. And it's been so rare over the years to have a player like that. So an incredibly special player. I wish he would play every single game for Scotland. He does play more or less every game for Scotland. I think, a lot of chat about Andy Robertson aiming for breaking Kenny Dalglish's cap record. I think he will do that. I think he'll hold that record as long as Billy Gilmour can then come take it off him. Because he, like I said, in the position he plays for Scotland, you could see him doing a Luka Modric. He's only in his early 20s now. He's got more than 40 caps. He could play for the next 10, 12 years and get an untold number of caps for Scotland. But he's a phenomenal player.
Gordon, a lot of phenomenal players, I think, in the Scotland team now. When you look at this bunch, we know that they're capable of getting there. I think something you touched on earlier on is it being it's our fate now. It's in our hands. It's how they rise to that occasion, not being maybe overpumped or overhyped, but having that control and knowing that they're good enough to do the job. I think will be a real test for Scotland today as well.
Totally. Again, I'll give you two main thoughts on that one. The first one is, if you remember when back before Andy Murray won his first Wimbledon title, every year he'd go there every summer and he'd be weighed down by the expectation of 77 years of why has a British man never won Wimbledon, and that was his fault, even though he'd only been around for the equivalent of 10 minutes. But once he'd won it, it becomes easier to do it again. And Scotland was the exact same thing. You had squad after squad, camp after camp. Why haven't you been to a tournament for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? It wasn't their fault, but they were weighed down by that expectation and the weight of history. As soon as they've done it, it becomes easier. And then winning becomes a habit. Success becomes a habit. The second point I'll make on that one, and it's a stat that always blows my mind, is that the first squad that Steve Clarke called up in 2019 had a total number of caps in that squad of 262, with only one outfield player having more than 30 caps. Wow. This squad has 868 caps in it, with 12 outfield players with more than 30 and a bunch on 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. That goes to show that he's built a team. You mentioned it at the outset there about that club mentality. That's what that is. That's what that means.
Great
Players
stuff.
that play together more succeed together, and they've been round the houses, they've had success, and this is what happens.
I was with Steve Clarke at Chelsea, Will, and he was such a pragmatic player. He survived a long time at Chelsea when they were making all the changes, and people like Hullet were coming, Vialli and others, great players, Desailly, Leboeuf. All of these players were coming. Steve was still playing right back for Chelsea.
Yeah.
That's the type of person he is.
He's absolutely brilliant. And again, you mentioned there that today he will become Scotland's longest serving manager. Fully deserved. And I think obviously put in the context of he's had to operate with the media the way it is these days and social media being the way it is. And in a job like that, you don't last 6 years unless you're good. And again, like I said, yes, expectations have raised, and he's held to probably a higher standard than previous Scotland managers. Ultimately, that's a good thing, There was something when I was growing up as a Scotland fan, the concept of Scotland doing glorious failure all the time. And that nothing annoyed me more as a Scotland fan because it made me feel like we were celebrating failure. It was like, oh, well, we'll muck it up and that'll be a good laugh and we'll have a pint and everything will be fine. And I was like, no, I want us to be good. I want us to win games. And I feel like, honestly, in the last few years, I've not heard glorious failure for years.
No, it's been a proud time for sure for Scotland, and fingers crossed for them tonight. Gordon, enjoy the game. I take it you're going?
100%. Not missed a game in many years, so I can't not. Although ultimately I do. Hampden is about a 5-minute walk that way, so they're ultimately playing in my back garden, so I have no excuse.
Oh, love it. Listen, good luck tonight. We're thinking of you, Gordon Sheik from the Tartan Scarf podcast. Thanks so much for your time.
Cheers, Gordon.
Pleasure.
All the best. I really like Steve, and actually listening to his interview going into the Greece game. What are you laughing at?
Just something I did in that interview. I can't believe I did it.
What did you do?
It says, will Scotland qualify? The headline, yeah?
Uh-huh.
And we normally look at the screen.
Did you call Gordon Will at one point? I thought you called him Will.
I've seen the headline. It's got Will Scotland. And I thought his name's Will.
Don't worry. It's Sunday morning. It's 7:15. It's international break. We're all allowed a wee off day. But there's something about Steve Clarke at the minute where in his interviews going into the Greece game, he had this light-heartedness about him, because you know him more.
Well, he's a very serious and one of
serious. What is he was a bit lighter?
Steve was always. It's a bit of a joke, but between the players, we say Steve looks in the mirror in the morning, smiles and gets it out of the way. He's sort of that character. He's actually a lovely man.
Yeah,
he's a lovely man. And
he comes across well.
He was at Brentford recently. I didn't catch up with him because he was in a different section to me. But no problems. He was a really good captain for Chelsea.
When we were in Germany at the Euros, we were staying in a little town called Garmisch-Partenkirchen. That was the name of it, wasn't it, Sam? Garmisch-Partenkirchen was the name. Garmin? What was that, sat-nav? Garmisch-Partenkirchen. Tell you, it was one of the nicest places I've ever been, and I can't remember the name. And it was absolutely stunning, and it was literally out of Munich by about an hour and 15 minutes in the car. And the reason apparently that Scotland had chosen to stay there and Steve had chosen to stay there is because he'd gone there on holiday about 20 years previous for a skiing trip, something like that. Yeah. And he knew that it was away from the hustle and bustle, and we were out the way. So we were on the backdrop of these Alps were absolutely incredible. The lads were doing open training, and when the media arrive, you get 15 minutes to do open training, take some shots, the lads doing the rondos, whatever. And getting the shots. And Steve came over on the first day of open training, and there was some kind of fans invited in, local Scots who live in the area and whatever like that invited in. Steve goes, right, is that then? That's it then. And he was the one right, oh, you get lost, bolt, get out of here, I've got a job to do. I remember thinking, God, he's so serious, but lately he's been a bit warmer, I think, with the press.
Yeah, he's warming up. He's at heart, he's a really good guy.
Yeah. Right, is that you then? Off you go. Get it, beat it. Good luck tonight to Scotland at Hampden. All the updates coming for you here on talkSPORT. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we'll get into today's back pages of the Sunday papers.
We got Sean McCann, and Rob Boyd on the wing, on the way. No Scotland, no party. Steve Clarke's Tartan Army.
4-5. Everybody in the car, so come on, let's ride to the liquor store around the corner. The boys say they want some gin and juice, but I really don't wanna be a buzz like I had last week. I must stay.
Good morning, you're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne and former Celtic and Red Star striker Tony Cascarino. And a little bit of Monica, Erica.
I can't remember the names. Remember the tune though. All the names. How old is this now?
Oh, good question. Right now, what are we talking about? 25 years?
I said 20. I was going 20.
20 years?
Maybe more.
Lou Bega, Mambo number 5. According to horror author Stephen King, he played that song so much that his wife genuinely threatened to leave him. Yeah, he's spoken in an interview. They're still married after 50 years, but he enjoyed the song so much that she threatened to divorce him.
Well, you do have songs, don't you, that you overplay. Yeah, you do. That's quite common, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now with Spotify and other things, you can just play this and you end up listening to it hundreds of times.
What was your song? Like, what song?
The song that I played a hell of a lot was Real Gone Kid by Deacon Blue. I played that a lot. I love that song.
Real Gone.
Yeah.
Real Gone. It's a banger too.
Yeah, it's a classic.
And you know that way you don't want to get caught listening to it again and again and again.
Yeah.
I still do it. When I like a song, I'll just listen to that song on repeat.
Yeah, just repeat. This song I must have heard hundreds of times. Yeah. And they're a band that never really made it massive, but got a great following.
Yeah.
Got a great following, Deacon Blue.
At the end of like every party in Scotland, you play Dignity.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
That was a great song. At the end of the night, everyone dancing around to Dignity by Deacon Blue. But in terms of like repeat all the time,
they're married, aren't they? They're husband and wife.
Yeah. Or they are married.
Yeah, they're married. They got, I think, about 4 kids or something like that. Yeah,
play.
Yeah,
talented bunch. My one at the minute is Olivia Dean. Do you know who Olivia Dean is?
I've heard the name, but I wouldn't know her song.
Man I Need. I cannot turn this song off. Tell me that's something to give. I want it. Great song.
No,
not for you.
Well, I could listen to this a few times, but
not for you. That's fine.
I'm not into much sort of the lovey songs of. I'm a real gone kid.
Yeah, he's a rock star, ladies and gentlemen.
I wouldn't go that far.
Looking at today's back pages for you, flicking through the back of the Sun just now, Barca want Rashford to sign a permanent deal. Barcelona are ecstatic with Marcus Rashford and want to take up the option of turning his loan from Man United into a permanent move. That's an exclusive.
A bit early for that, isn't it?
Is it?
It's a bit early to make that decision. I mean, in that article, look, I'm not saying he's not done well, but it's a bit early to make that decision. Okay, there's a lot of football to be played, and they can sit and wait and keep hoping he plays well, and then go down the line. Because there's talk, wasn't there, that they thought Manchester United were pulling the wool over their eyes because they seemingly wanted to get rid of him so desperately that they thought there must be something wrong here. Yeah, that's how the Barcelona were looking at it. But he's done well. Now, we're in, mid-October. Rashford has to show over the course of over the length of the season that getting into January, because, look, Barcelona will expect to be going to deep into the Champions League. They'll be expecting to challenge for the La Liga. And he's got to be really consistent over a long period of time.
So do you not think, though, that a player like Marcus Rashford needs to feel that love? So if they
maybe he does. Yeah, maybe he does. But he's going to have to perform. Marcus Rashford's a talent. I don't think anybody denies that. But it's the consistency over a long period of time. If you take his 7+ years at Manchester United, I would argue 2 good and 3 not bad, and a couple of not very good, and that's not the standard. Barcelona, if you have 1 bad season, you'll be gone. So he's got to perform. It's mid-October, and there's a long way to go.
The way it started, though, in terms of his form at
Newcastle, he scored a couple, didn't
3
he?
goals and 5 assists and 10 appearances. So it started well for him.
He's doing fine, and it's over a long period of time. You don't being hit the ground running at Barcelona is great for him. But he's got to continue it.
Yeah.
That is what happens at big clubs. You've got to be consistent over a long period of time.
The Sun newspaper understands that Barcelona would have to pay £25 million to sign the England international plus $5 million in add-ons, while United would also command a share of any sell-on fee. Morgan Rogers also making the back pages as well after what was a brilliant display midweek against Wales for England. England star Morgan Rogers is next in line for a new Aston Villa contract less than 12 months after signing his last one. They want to tie him down. He's an important player, obviously, but he was brilliant the other night, wasn't he? Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, he's actually played very well for England. I don't think he's played quite as well this season as he did last year for Villa, but we're early doors again, so give him time. Morgan's a talented lad, you know?
Yeah.
I want to touch on one because it's Euro shake-up as fans turn off. And it's all about the qualifiers for the World Cup, and UEFA are exploring a bold plan to make qualifying for the next European Championships more interesting and entertaining the fans.
Go on.
Which, look, we've flooded football. And this hasn't only happened in football, it's happened in golf, where if you just keep flooding the market where, you know, continual football, and then you have, obviously, as we have with the Champions League format, which was a change from the old group format. The group format, I thought, was at the end of its tether, really, because that's why they introduced this new league.
I love it.
And it has made it. It's made it a little bit more jeopardy in there.
Yeah.
And there's an opportunity for teams that start so badly but still can get through to the latter stages, as PSG did last year when they won it. And I think there's a lot of stuff, you know, regarding World Cup qualifiers, European Championships qualifiers, of just so much football. And I think fans, and it's never been easier to qualify. Let's get it right. It's easier now than it's ever been. There used to be tournaments with 16 teams, 12 teams, or, you know, now we've got to a World Cup where we've got 48 and maybe extended again.
I've heard a lot over I mean, you look at, for example, Scotland and Ireland and Wales, their situations are slightly different to, say, England. And there's so much focus in England. But I've spoken to so many England fans over the last kind of week or so who can't be interested in international windows. They don't feel that there's jeopardy. They're not taken by international football.
Well, they're not taken by the qualifiers, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And OK, Wales was a friendly the other night.
Of course, majors are very, very different.
Yeah, you know, when you get to a tournament, of course, it changes completely. But I can remember some of our matches leading up to a World Cup and qualifying. Really tough games.
Yeah.
Unbelievable atmospheres in Dublin and away, wherever. You know, we had England a couple of times in our group, you know.
Yeah.
England were in our group. This was really tough. So, you know, they have, I just think, flooded with just so much football.
Yeah.
That it end up you get the consequences of, you know, the public losing a little bit of interest in some of these.
How are they going to boost it?
You know, England qualifying is not even a question. It's And there's many other countries. France will qualify at ease, and there are many others that qualify so easily.
Don't forget, England against Latvia is live for you on Tuesday here on talkSPORT. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast. Coming up for you next, more music. We're going to be joined in the studio by our artist of the week. It's Liverpool fan Tom Spate is with us next. Good morning, welcome to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. My name's Shebahn Aherne, alongside the former Chelsea and Villa striker Tony Cascarino. Some of you know the headlines you're waking up to this Sunday morning. Jarell Quansah set to miss England's World Cup qualifier against Latvia. That's due to an injury. England do not plan to bring in a replacement. Ahead of Sweden's World Cup qualifier against Kosovo, Alexander Isak has admitted he hadn't spoken to Eddie Howe since his Newcastle exit. And it's a huge afternoon in the NFL. Here's talkSPORT's Brian T. Smith with much more.
Hi, I'm Brian Smith, U.S. sports writer for talkSPORT. Join me on Sunday for live coverage of the NFL from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The Denver Broncos versus the New York Jets at 1:30 p.m. on Game Day Live with Sam Matterface. And then we have full commentary with Will Gavin over on talkSPORT 2, plus 2 more games after. It's the Denver Broncos, Bo Nix and Sean Payton, who are coming off the biggest win of the NFL weekend, versus the Jets New York Jets, who are 0-5 and searching for their first win at Tottenham.
Brilliant. All live for you on the talkSPORT network from the NFL today. All I can think is that Brian T. Smith has dropped the T. He said, I'm Brian Smith. And I went, wait a minute, hold on. Where's the T gone?
There's a lot of people dropping the middle bit.
What's that?
Remember when we had Rory
somebody
K. Smith?
Rory K. Smith dropped the K?
Dropped the K.
Huh. Brian, where'd your T go? What happened to T? Spelt the T. Lol. 8:10:89. You can let us know what was your non-stop song that you could have listened to on repeat. Who was his name again? The author we were talking about? Who? Stephen King. Who wrote the horror?
Yeah. I wasn't.
We've been joined in the studio, by the way, by our guest of the week, our band of the week, is Tom Spate, Liverpool fan. Hi, Tom. How are you?
I'm very, very well, thanks.
We better ask you, Tom. What is the song you'd always go to?
Yeah, your non-stop song. That
what time of the day are we going for?
Any time of the day.
Do we need a time of day?
Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to go. I saw Oasis 3 times this summer, so I feel like I should say Oasis.
Wait a minute. How did you get tickets to see him three times?
Well, I'm going to be very unpopular, aren't I now? But I covered Live Forever, so I should probably, probably choose that song. I covered it, and then a couple of the members tweeted about it.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. Not Noel or Liam, but...
No, but they very positive, aren't they?
Yeah, very positive, yeah.
Oh, brilliant. And in terms of being a Liverpool fan, you actually have got quite a connection to football fans as well.
Yeah.
Because your music has been used here and there.
Yeah, so I probably, some people might not know maybe my name, but they would have heard the songs on, like, we did Match of the Day for the whole season.
Wow.
And then my song also was like, whenever England would win, they would play it as well, and it also was used on the Lionesses final as well.
So wait, what was that song? Was that the song you're going to do?
So there's 2. There's one called Trick of the Light, which was used for Match of the Day, and Gary Lineker used to just talk all over it. And I'd be like, Gary, stop talking, just, get the song out. But and then Beautiful Feeling was the one that was always used on the coverage, it's kind of like this epic string section. Which kind of, I suppose that's why it was used.
That's very rewarding, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. I write these songs in my bedroom, and then they end up on soundtrack in someone's life or TV show or Victory or whatever. And it's even, I'm obviously a Liverpool fan, and they've been putting the songs on the team sheet playlist and in the stadium, so that's pretty cool as well.
Brilliant. So you're doing really, really well.
It's going all right, yeah.
Yeah, fair play. You've got a new song out just now. It's called Buzzing.
Yeah.
And
so
you're going to
new
do
album as well. Yeah, came out 2 weeks ago, so it's all all happening.
Busy times. You're buzzing, literally. You're going to sing that for us now, right?
Apparently so, yeah.
Let's go for it. You're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. This is Tom Spate, our Artist of the Week, with Buzzing.
Get up, go out, don't know what it's all about. On Monday, I get lost in your eyes. Days seem to pass me by. I kinda like it, I kinda like it. You know, 2, 3, 4, hold me tight, don't let me go. I can't shake this feeling, no, I'm buzzing, too buzzing. Hold me tight, don't let me go. I can't sleep, no, I can't, no, I'm buzzing, too buzzing. And your sunshine rains over me. It's alright as long as you're by my side by Sunday, oh Sunday. You know, 2, 3, 4, hold me tight, don't let me go. I can't shake this feeling, no, I'm buzzing, too buzzing. Hold me tight, don't let me go. I can't sleep, no, I can't, no, I'm buzzing, too buzzing. And your sunshine rains over, your sunshine rains over, your sunshine rains over me. I'm buzzing, too buzzing. I'm buzzing, still buzzing.
Very good.
Oh,
great stuff.
Really nice.
Yeah, great.
What a lovely treat.
I've got to say that you play the guitar in a very strange. I'm literally watching you as you're playing it, and it seems really awkward what you're doing, and yet you do it brilliantly.
And you might.
Oh, thanks, Stone. Well, it feels this is the closest I've ever been to. Yeah, it feels like we're doing a duet, but
it's very intimate right now. Cass is basically on your lap.
You can do it, yeah. We could. At one point I was thinking you could maybe sing along with me.
Oh,
because there's a little clap-in section, and I normally sing with a girl singer, but we've been so busy. I thought I'll give her a day off.
Also, you managed to play one-handed at times as well. That's not something I've seen too often.
Which is very convenient for. Doing the gig, I can say clap now, everyone.
Oh,
but
fair enough.
No, it's very good morning song. It's a good morning song.
It's
a great song.
A nice wake up and a Sunday tune. Tom Spate, thank you so much for being with us. Everything is out and available now, right?
It is, yeah, and I'm on tour. I'm playing London on November the 1st, but we're going everywhere. We've been everywhere as well recently, so it's really lovely to be back here as well, because we started the campaign for the record, I think was in March, and so talkSPORT have always been huge champions, so thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining us
really
this Sunday morning. Good luck with everything. That was Tom Spate, Buzzing. Available now. You're listening to Weekend Breakfast. Coming up next, we're going to get into Chelsea and the latest for them. Morning. How's it going? Welcome along to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino. I'm doing a U. I'm faffing around
Do you need any help?
with my thing. Hold on, is this working? Ha!
Yeah, they can be a bit fiddly, can't they?
No, it's gone off in one ear. Anyway, nobody cares. Nobody cares about my technical problems this morning. Good morning. Some of your other headlines. Hull KR won the Super League Grand Final yesterday. They beat Wigan Warriors 24-6 at Old Trafford. Tiger Woods has undergone successful surgery as his return to golf remains doubtful. We were talking earlier on about the Ryder Cup, weren't we, Cass? I think that would help if it was Tiger Woods coming into...
It's the away leg. You know, does he want to go to Adair and be the captain? And I think a lot of them want to wait for the home leg. Yeah. You know, that's why I give full credit to Luke Donald. He took over and went, took over on board with Rome because he saw the opportunity. Because Luke Donald wasn't the first choice.
Yeah.
It became the first choice very quickly.
So would you have Luke Donald again, or would you
I think
Justin Roser?
Quite clearly, you want the best man for the job, and Luke Donald is clearly that.
Absolutely. British heavyweight Dave Allen lost on his return to boxing to his Russian opponent Makhmudov live on talkSPORT last night. Speaking afterwards, Allen explained why he was unsuccessful.
Yeah, I wanted to do more, just didn't have it in me, and that's all right. Everyone watching this, we might not be the best. Wow, it hit me bad, really, really bad a few times. Do you know where I were? I felt like I was in a disco, I was spinning. At one point, I was and I thought, where the fuck?
Oh, Dave Allen speaking to talkSPORT last night after that fight. I think Spencer Oliver's going to be with us a little bit later.
Yes, yeah.
To dissect it a little bit more. We're going to talk about Chelsea now. The club have started playing goal music after finding the net in recent matches. Yep, a little bit of Chelsea dagger after Chelsea score. For some reason, I thought that was the norm. I thought they kind of always had a bit of Chelsea dagger after a game.
It's sort of changed in recent years, isn't it? There's been different music to goals. I was at the Liverpool game and the atmosphere was incredible. But that was, first and foremost, it was the sides that made it so incredible, because it was literally ping pong of you have a go, we have a go, and the fans were on their edge, and it was such a tight game for a long period.
Yeah, the fans not having this kind of music in terms of goal celebrations.
It didn't matter when they got that one though, the 1-2-1. They seemed pretty delighted at that moment.
I'm sure they didn't.
Just afterwards complained about the music.
Yeah, they've signed a petition, some fans, asking for music to be cut and a return to a time when goals were celebrated without music. 3,000 Chelsea fans have signed it so far. One of the fans who has signed this petition is Chelsea fanalist Craig Dixon, who joins us now. Good morning, Craig.
Hi, Craig.
Yeah.
Yeah, and tell us, because I was saying there, I was at the Liverpool game over Chelsea. I was there live, and it was unbelievable atmosphere. It felt like no one cared about the goal music then. Has it become a bigger problem for, say, less mundane games?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, that sort of last-minute winner, I don't think anyone cared what was being played, and Maresca ran down the touchline, everyone going mad. But yeah, the previous games before that, when they pulled it in this season, Fulham, Benfica, Brighton, it's been really off-putting, actually. I think for all of us who weren't expecting it, it just sort of came out of the blue. It was thrust upon us, and yeah, it's a very odd sensation when you've been used to, sort of, in my experience, nearly 40 years of celebrating goals at Stamford Bridge, and then suddenly you hear this really loud noise come through. It's a very odd experience.
What if the club said is the reasoning towards playing this music after a goal then?
Well, I think this is one of the issues that we have, those of us who have signed a petition, is they haven't really communicated. I think it was brought up at one of the fans' forums, and kind of one of the supporters' representatives there said, look, we don't think this is going to go down well. But yeah, there was never anything sent out, correspondence or anything like that to season ticket holders, etc. It's just kind of just been, decisions been made, and nobody seems to have really explained why they've decided to change it after all this time.
Does it feel a bit cheesy to you? Is that, that sort of reaction like the darts when they finish the set and it all gets, goes up to a hysteria, but that works for darts but doesn't really work for football?
100%, yeah, that's exactly it. And again, there's other sports, like you say, darts being one, and, with the American owners, obviously a lot of American sports, which I've been to, and, you enjoy that kind of, that razzmatazz and all of that, but that's that sports culture, and it adds to that. Whereas I think with football, certainly, as I say, at Stamford Bridge, that's never been the case. And yeah, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel natural.
Do you know what, Craig? You're bringing me back to a conversation that we had not too long ago on talkSPORT Breakfast when Millwall, Cass, your former Millwall, they decided that they were going to do light shows. I think five games a season. I think then something to do with a new contract or a new sponsor. They were going to do 5 light shows a season. Now, they kicked off. Some Millwall fans were not happy about this. We are Millwall. We don't need light shows, And then we had this conversation in the office, and a number of the team were like, yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, we're trying to make football something that's not this Americanized look, that we have to have light shows and music. And I remember a number of rugby players were kicking off after there was a try. They decided to introduce Freed from Desire anytime there was a try. And purists find it really, really annoying that we're trying to change this in football. But also, Craig, is it really a big deal? Like, it's just a little bit of Chelsea dagger after a goal. Like, what really is the problem there?
Well, I think we touched upon it. It's a problem that I don't think ever needed fixing. Like the sound of the crowd celebrating, I think is probably the best sound you can have. Certainly in football, it's because it's natural. It's it's authentic, and yeah, it just feels like, again, it's part of a wider issue, as I say, of perhaps the club not really sort of listening to supporters and things like that. But generally and genuinely, people have kind of criticised me for saying this, but it's the truth, and I think a few other people have said it. When you are actually celebrating a goal, because you're not, it's not rehearsed, you don't know, every goal you celebrate is slightly different. When this music comes on, it blasts so loud. I found with a couple of the games, not so much the Liverpool game, because, as I say, you kind of drowned it out. Everything was so exciting then. But the Benfica game, for example, a few days before that, I found myself stopping myself celebrating because
you were bugged by the music.
It kind of
overwhelmed
you can't avoid it. It overwhelms you, and it stops you in your tracks. And suddenly you realise, oh, I'm not celebrating. Everyone else is sort of clapping along. And I always say it's a bit like when I was a kid going to like other children's birthday parties. It was that feeling, and it's not what you want, is it, at the football, really?
No. Is it? I'll ask you this, Craig. Is it common elsewhere at other clubs that have had a similar problem?
Yeah, I think a lot of clubs over the years have had it, and I think we've always been, I've certainly always felt like, at least we, with all the things in modern football nowadays and all the changes that have happened over the years at Chelsea, that's one thing that we've never had. Whereas other clubs, I think, that's really bad. And again, each club's slightly different. I think some have embraced it maybe more than others. But yeah, when you've got a packed 42,000 stadium like Stamford Bridge, I just think it's completely unnecessary.
Well, you're one of 3,000 people who have signed this petition for these tunes to stop being played when there's a goal at Stamford Bridge. Craig Dixon, Chelsea analyst and fan, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it, and I hope it changes for you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, guys.
Cheers,
Lovely.
Craig.
Thank you. You can share your thoughts with us on this morning. Does your club, when you're at the stadiums, play music when there's a goal scored? Does it do your nutting? Is it something you want to see out of football, or is it really not that big of a deal?
Yeah.
8, 10, 89. I mean, it really is preference, right? Yeah.
I've been to a lot of Chelsea games, so, because I get asked to go to watch and just, a club that I formerly played for. So the atmosphere against Liverpool was extraordinary. Yeah. It's the best I've seen for years at Chelsea.
It was rocking.
It was absolutely rocking. And, we now, you can get a bit biased, can't you? Because you look back at the past and you go, oh, nostalgic when it was like that. And that was a one-off game. But generally, if the fans seriously have a problem with it and they don't like it, they always do what they do. They have the right to, ask for no more, please.
Yeah, well,
and I have heard it at different stadiums. Some music that comes on unnecessary.
The
Just
women's
feels
games,
unnecessary.
they do it a lot at the women's games, and I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
I really don't. But if you are a die-hard Chelsea fan and you've been in the stands for that long, and you're starting to hear music after goals, you're seeing these changes in football, and it's been changed enough. It's been sanitised enough.
Yeah.
Do you need that music after a goal? You can understand the frustration, but also there's probably more pressing matters. Maybe not. 81089, you can share your thoughts on this morning. Still to come for you on Weekend Breakfast, we'll discuss last night's boxing and also a bit of Wales. And up next, it's Ireland legend Ray Houghton looking back on last night's agonising defeat to Portugal. It's all coming up next for you on Weekend Breakfast.
Tyson Fury, Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez. Just hearing these names makes you think money and the hundreds of millions of dollars, pounds or Saudi riyals in boxing. But that's at the top. At the bottom, it isn't quite the same. Even for those on the rise, there's not an awful lot of cash in the boxing world. And if you're just starting out, well, it can be a very costly exercise indeed. But don't take my word for it. Here's the former European champion, talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver.
You're turning professional and you're boxing, let's say, York Hall on a non-televised fight. You have to sell tickets to earn any money, but you have to cover the wages of your opponent as well. So if you don't have the ability to be able to sell enough tickets, you effectively have to pay to fight.
A far cry then from Jake Paul facing Mike Tyson in 2024, when the purse was reported to be around £48 million. But the vast amounts of cash lining the top dog's pockets isn't the norm in a typical fight.
Let's say you're lucky and you get between 5 and 10 grand. You're going to get 10 grand max for that. 10% goes to the trainer, 25% goes to the manager. Then we've got the tax man to pay as well. So we're cutting that money in at least half. So now you've got 5 grand for a 10-week camp. So you're talking about a guy here earning, he might be clearing 500 quid a week. How do you support a family on that? So boxers chase the dream, and there's probably 2% of them that actually make it.
So say you do make it and you start to rise up the ranks. Strikers Boxing, a training academy, says the mid-tier fighters can earn more, somewhere between £10,000 and £50,000 a fight, depending on record, profile, opponent and popularity of weight class. It's only at the top level does the real cash start flowing in, with the top-tier professionals, i.e. those going for titles, earning 6 figures a fight. Something else you'll have heard of is the terms prize fighter or journeyman. A prize fighter is, as it sounds, someone who picks up fights where they can and gets a nice big check if they win. Journeymen are the fighters who take on up-and-comers, effectively used for experience in the ring. Even if they're going up against a real prospect, a young Anthony Joshua, for example, these guys will be lucky to earn more than 10 grand. So the average boxer isn't as rich as you'd think. Good morning, you're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. We're live on your smart TV. Roll over on a Sunday morning and turn on Tony Cascarino. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Here's what you're waking up to today. Scotland could secure a playoff place with a win over Belarus this evening.
The brief was qualify for tournaments. We've managed to do that twice, but we want to do it again because we're all greedy.
Give me 1 second. Come on, boys! Get right in about them! Excuse me. In other news, England take on Latvia on Tuesday, hoping to claim automatic qualification to the World Cup.
There's enough talent in this squad to be brilliant on their day. There's no doubt about that. I think the last 3 games I've been quite buoyed up by it.
And we'll look ahead to a crucial game for Wales tomorrow. They face the Belgians in World Cup qualifying as well.
It's a difficult task, but it's a good game now. It's a good game.
It is indeed. Craig Bellamy. We're also going to discuss all of yesterday's sport and look ahead to another busy week. 81089 is the text number. 03717223344 is the number if you want to give us a call. You're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Good morning. Do you know what? This conversation about Chelsea, when there's a goal now at the bridge, they've started to play music, Chelsea Dagger. Actually has a lot of people talking. Good morning, Shebahn and Cass, great show. This has been happening up in Scotland, at Ibrox, at Celtic Park, especially at Hampden for years. When bits and pieces get played, it's iconic. Stop greeting, let's embrace it and get on with it. That's from Darren in Glasgow this morning. Good morning to Zach. He said we have music after goals at Reading Football Club, but then again we're not playing great at the moment, so every little helps.
Oh, right. Yeah, they've had a pretty tough ride, Reading Football Club, haven't they?
Yeah,
a few years.
Yeah, exactly that. Good morning to Ryan. He said playing goal music is tin pot behaviour. It really splits people.
Yeah. No, I know.
Like, crack on, what are you moaning for? It's just a bit of music, but also fans get really bothered. I'm not at the stadium, so I can't talk.
No, I know. It just, look, some things sit with people, don't they, that they really enjoy. They love that celebration, that moment, and then being blasted out music that they feel is not necessary.
Yeah.
Will make the atmosphere fans want, don't they? They go, we'll make it.
Yeah.
You don't need to make it by putting on music we don't really want on.
And that's, I guess, what the Chelsea fan was saying as well.
Yeah, exactly.
They're spoiling what is their celebrating moment.
It's their moment.
Yeah, to be loud and to show that passion of being a football fan. I get it. I'm split. I'm also a bit like, stop moaning. A few results in World Cup qualifying last night. Spain beat Georgia 2-0. Estonia were defeated by Italy 3-1. Norway battered Israel 5-0. Erling Haaland got a hat-trick and also missed 2 penalties, which is pretty weird. And of course, sadness for the Republic of Ireland, defeated by Portugal in dramatic fashion.
Mais cruzamento, boa bola, e golo! É golo! Luma Neves! É o primeiro golo com a camisola de Portugal!
Yeah, that's the Portuguese version of what happened last night. Ruben Neves scoring as Ireland held on for what looked like it was going to be a goalless draw. Some good bits in that game as well. Here to focus on it more with us is former Republic of Ireland midfielder Cass's old teammate Ray Houghton. Good morning, Ray.
Raymondo. Ray, I've got to ask you because, look, the game last night, there was loads of great things. The effort, desire, organised, look, really beyond, just really what you'd expect from an Ireland team. Lacked a bit of quality, didn't really offer a threat. I look at the midfield, Ray, and you're a midfielder. I just don't think we have anybody who can literally grab that game or get on the ball that can control things.
Yeah, look, that's the problem for us, Tony. There's no doubt about it. But last night, it was about getting back to the old principles, which is good defending, solid defending, working hard for each other. After losing to Armenia in September in the manner that we did, there had to be a dramatic improvement. And I thought you seen that last night. That was about discipline, responsibility, professionalism, keeping your shape, working hard. Yeah, we didn't have the end product as much as we would have liked. We didn't pose too many problems for Portugal. But it was just to get back with the fans, get them on board with the performance level, because they were really disappointed with the Armenia result. But last night, I think they were proud of the attitude of the players. And you can see that after the game. Quite a lot of the Irish fans still were in the stadium clapping the players when they came out to do the warm-down after the game.
Yeah. Ray, what did you make of, say, Seamus Coleman? Because Seamus coming in at 37 years old, well, we've had players, well, certainly Jack used them, and Mick, experienced players to do certain job. Seamus coming into the team?
Yeah, I mean, I was slightly surprised he started, because when you look at what he's done for Everton this season, I think he's only had a few minutes in the Premier League. He's played in 2 League Cup games for them, but not a lot else. But apparently around the training ground, he's been absolutely fantastic. Speaking to the younger players, cajoling them, talking to them about what's going on at the moment, because a lot of them have been hurting with the criticism that they've received in the opening 2 games. And you just have someone of that experience and that knowledge around them and just reassuring them daily on the training pitch and then taking it into the game. And to last as long as he did last night, it was testament to his ability, to his fitness level, and to the fact that he really wants to go out there and play well for his country. There was a lot of really strong performances last night. Yes, we've got to find, players that can open up defences and create chances and score goals. But last night we were up against probably one of the best teams in world football. If you look at the players that they've got, the quality, the depth of their squad, the players who they could bring on and change a game. I was devastated for the lads last night. To work as hard as they did, a dubious penalty, which was brilliantly saved by Kelleher. And then in the 91st minute, I think it was, to get the goal that they did, and Ruben Neves got his first international goal. It was heartbreaking for the lads, for the energy that they put into the game.
I mean, you mentioned a few outstanding performances. I thought O'Brien done terrific. Nathan Collins after a very difficult night in Armenia. Kelleher as well. Kelleher's made some big saves in that game.
Yeah, he did. And, I thought not just the saves that he made, but he controlled his 18-yard box, really good communication. And what he's really good at, Tony, and he doesn't get a lot of accolades about it, a lot of talk about it, is when the ball gets played back to him, there's no panic. His distribution is absolutely brilliant. Left foot, right foot. He picks players out. He starts moves from that area of the field. He's maybe just up front, Evan Ferguson, all credit to him. He worked his socks off, and the quality of ball up to him wasn't always of a good enough standard. And the 2 wide lads, they worked hard, but it's just a fitness level with them. I thought last night they're just tired, and that's why the manager made the changes. But we've now got to take the performance into Armenia on Tuesday. And this is going to be a little bit more difficult because we're going to have to be the aggressors. We're going to have to be the team that's going to try and open up the opposition where we are passing and movement. And, you questioned that at the start of the show. Have we got the players that can do that? Well, we'll certainly see on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned there, Ray, Armenia. And when we tried that away, we got punished because we gave away the ball so often and exposed centre-halves who got left in one-on-one scenarios, against Armenia away. And, look, it's a game we have to win to have any sort of chance because we've still got, a couple of games. Obviously, Portugal at home and Hungary away, which is a very tough one. So, and a lot of effort was put into this game, taking it into the next one, Ray, wasn't it?
Yeah, but what you've got to remember, Tony, if we win on Tuesday against Armenia, Hungary are coming here. They're coming to Portugal to play. Yeah. And if Portugal wins that, that's them qualified. They've got 12 points. No one can catch them. And then it's all down to the last 2 games. And we'll be level on points with Hungary. We've then got Portugal, who, as I said, if they do win on Tuesday, they've already qualified. So what's their mindset in the game in Dublin? And we proved last night that we can take the game to them. So it's still up for grabs at the moment. Yeah. I was looking a lot bleaker, but having watched the players last night, I've seen more desire, more determination. I thought the professionalism was back there when it came to the defensive side of things. So I don't think you will see on Tuesday the centre-halves giving the ball away in the manner that they did in the game against Armenia away. I think that will have changed. I think the thought process from the manager has been good. I think the experienced players have been having a good time with the youngsters, just to get them on board and get them focused on the job in hand. So I think they're a lot more upbeat. The only problem is, you're quite right, they went straight home after the game last night, so they wouldn't have got to the hotel in Dublin until about 3 o'clock this morning. Yeah. They're going to have an easy day today. Some of the fringe players who didn't do anything will be doing a workout, but you have to get yourself, fully attuned.
No matter hide them, Ray.
No, there'll be none of that tonight, pal. Straight back to the hotel. So they'll be ready for the game on Tuesday.
Well, Ray, I like that you sound optimistic about it, because a lot of people will be feeling that it's kind of over for Ireland in terms of qualification. But...
No, it's going to be really tough, but yeah. Ray's got a point.
No, absolutely.
It's still, there's a chance. And that, Ray, I think, Ray, you were involved, weren't you, Ray, in the game when we beat Bulgaria away?
No, I don't. I'm not sure it was.
Was you not involved? I didn't know when we got that. That was the amazing scenario, wasn't it? Back then, all them years ago for Euro '88.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, listen. There's certain games that transcend, football, and the ones that you remember. And I think because of the way we've been playing, and there's a lot of players have been getting a lot of stick for the performance level, particularly as we kept mentioning Armenia. First half against Hungary, we were poor. Yeah. We were 2 down. We got it back to 2-2 in that game. And I think now the fans were so much more upbeat, and I think that the chat that I heard, certainly that the fans will be there on Tuesday to support the team. They'll get behind them because there's a little bit more belief about what the manager's doing, and it was reflected last night.
He needed that as well. Ray Houghton, as ever, thank you so much for coming on with us this morning.
Cheers, Ray.
Republic of Ireland legend. I should have asked Ray all the secrets I need to know about you, Cass. You've been spelling everyone else.
No, we ended the interview perfectly.
Perfectly well. Ray, thank you so much for your time. I'll find out everything I need to know. By the way, many of you will have seen the headlines from a recent interview with Premier League referee Anthony Taylor. He's highlighted the abuse he's been subjected to at the elite level. We discussed it in detail yesterday here on the show. There's also been an increase in verbal and physical abuse towards officials that's impacting on grassroots football, with refs quitting the games and fixtures actually going unplayed. The talkSPORT dugout is where we want to hear from you about this. If you have any involvement with grassroots football, then you can get involved in talkSPORT's dugout. You can get your views on the referee situation at your local amateur team or your kids' football club. It's your chance to have your say. Head to talkSPORT, talksport.com/dugout to sign up and join the discussion, or you can access the dugout on the talkSPORT app, which you can download now for free. talksport.com/dugout, or you can listen out for our special show on Kickoff on Wednesday, 7 o'clock here on talkSPORT, where we're going to go a bit deeper into the refereeing situation in grassroots football. It's Weekend Breakfast. Coming up next, we're going to hear from the legend. Well, we're not going to hear from her. We're going to play some tunes for you because it's Kate Winslet's birthday, and Cass has got some tips on how I can look more like her by the time I'm 50.
You're a lot younger than Kate Winslet.
Hope you would think that.
I know.
I look older than her, and it's doing my nutting. Good morning. Draw me like one of your French girls.
Celine Dion song.
Say your name again?
Celine Dion.
Deline Sion.
No, Celine. Yeah. It's not really my type of film, the Titanic.
Oh, come on, Cass.
Oh.
It's like classic.
The story's really interesting. It's a historic story that is unbelievable, but to be a bit of a love.
Oh, I just thought it was the best movie ever. Just loved it. Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On Weekend Breakfast. Happy birthday to Kate Winslet, who is the big 5-0 today.
Yeah.
I mean, we're looking at pictures of her now. She looks
well, looks great. Yeah, and she's in the newspaper, and I've got some points she's made. She's got 9 points. I want to throw them to you, Shebahn.
Oh, so apparently
and
she celebrated her birthday a few days ago.
Yeah.
But we're now learning about how she looks.
How she looks so great. Yeah,
Tell
basically.
me everything. Tell me what.
She says less is more on the red carpet, number one. Right. Great eyebrows is number 2. So great eyebrows to help, yeah. Number 3, stick to low maintenance hair colour.
Right.
Okay. Number 4, wash your face with cold water.
Mm-hmm.
Have a sensible approach to fitness, number 5. Yeah. Enjoy getting ready.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I hate getting ready.
yeah, I think a lot of women would say
I
that.
hate getting ready.
But she says enjoy it. And then she says, don't be afraid of a DIY haircut.
No, not going to do that.
No. Okay. Take collagen supplement.
I started to for a while, but it got a bit expensive.
Yeah, they are very expensive. That's number 8. Number 9, be kind to yourself.
Oh. Well,
What do you feel on that one?
Well, my alarm went off at 3 o'clock this morning, Kate. And then actually, I was out till 1 o'clock Friday night and then up at 4 o'clock the next morning. So, yeah, I'll start being a bit kinder to myself.
Well, that's a strange one for me because I'm quite self-critical. You know, I don't throw that at other people. I just do it about myself. I'm probably my harshest critic, okay? And she says, don't criticise myself, okay? She says that. She also adds the point of, let me get what she says. I do my best to look myself from the inside and out. And I go easy on myself. I truly believe that negativity makes for ugly hearts and minds.
Ooh. Deep.
And that's quite harsh. You can be negative and still be kind to other people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I found that one a strange one where she's talking about truly believe negativity makes for ugly hearts and minds.
Oh.
You can be negative in a way that isn't, that harsh where you're going after someone. It's just sometimes you look at life a different way. Maybe that could be in humour as well.
You know, when somebody's negative all the time, it kind of...
Oh, well, that's different.
Hoovers up the room, energy. Mood hoovers.
Anyone who's consistently moaning about something is draining.
Get in the bin.
Okay? That's draining. But now and again you throw a bit of, being humble self-criticism. I don't think there's a problem at all. And you can be nice to other people.
Did she say anything about smashing a bottle of wine?
No, I don't think drink's on her agenda.
Got you. All right, thanks, Kate. Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, happy 50th.
Yeah, congratulations, Kate Winslet. Seems like one of the good ones. Okay, time now to get the latest odds with Coral.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Coral, the home of the free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18 plus max 1 reward per player per selected Shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. Gambleaware.org.
Singing along to My Heart Will Go On, Simon Clare.
Oh
yeah, we saw you down the lanes there, having your arms like you're on the front of the boat. Spread your wings. There we go. Your bingo wings, Simon. Your bingo wings.
Simon, come on. Are you a great lover of the film Titanic?
Great movie.
So, to be honest, I've watched the Titanic film. It's a great film. It's a long film. It's not one I could easily rewatch, but I love. My guilty pleasure is Celine Dion. When I was, I think, 18, she had a song called "If You Ask Me To," which I love.
Yeah.
And from then on, I've been to Think Twice, Power of Love, all these songs. So I actually had tickets to see her, and she kept cancelling her tour from 21, 22, 23, and then announced she was refunding because of the issues she was having. I think she sung at the opening of the Olympics or something a couple of years ago. But she is amazing. But a lot of people aren't necessarily fans, but I love Celine Dion.
I love her.
And
We've got an
All
amazing voice, that's for sure,
And
hasn't she?
Kate Winslet, a couple of films I've seen recently, Collateral Beauty with Will Smith in it, very good film.
Yes.
And Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, one of the classics with Jim Carrey. Great Kate Winslet film.
Did you watch Maid of Easttown with Kate Winslet? The
haven't
series.
seen
The series, that was brilliant. You might like that. That's quite a good show.
So what are we doing?
I know.
The odds for the Oscars now?
Yeah, can we just stick with Kate Winslet movies?
It's International Break Week. I mean, come on, we've got to talk about something.
Let's talk about Scotland. What
Scotland
chance have
first,
we got tonight?
Now it gets serious. This is a great opportunity for Scotland. I must admit, I follow them closely. I'm a huge Scott McTominay fan, both in with his career at Napoli and for Scotland. He's just one of my almost like heroes. Actually, he always scores big goals. And if they can get the job done against Belarus, and they beat them 2-0 away, they're 2-11. It's a very short price for Scotland.
Wow.
You almost prefer to be underdogs or in a tight fight, but they're expected to win today. McTominay is 11-10 to score any time, 5-1 to score first. But if you can win this game. And the big game here is actually in many ways Denmark-Greece, Shebahn Cass. 4-6 Denmark, 3-1 on the draw, Greece 4-1. But looking at the table, and this Greek side is quite good. I know in the end Scotland beat them 3-1. If they could somehow get a result, a win or a draw against Denmark, Scotland take control of that group. So, that's a key game. I know if Denmark thumped Belarus, I know they're a good side, but, if Scotland win, great. God, if they could get a favour done for them in the other game. What do you think can happen, Shebahn? How's your optimism feeling?
I'm very optimistic, and I think Hampden is going to be an absolute fortress tonight because of what happened a couple of nights ago on Thursday. To win in that fashion after struggling for much of the game, it not being the best performance, but they got the win, and it being 3-1. I'm looking and going, it'll be a good atmosphere tonight. Everyone will be up for it, and I'm sure the lads will be pumped as well. So, I think tonight will be a good result for Scotland. Fingers crossed.
It's going to be a good game, Cass. You feeling as optimistic as Shebahn from your neutral corner?
Well, you're in Scotland are in a fabulous position that if they can get a result, and sometimes, the unexpected happens elsewhere. Denmark could lose against Greece. What we saw in the first 60 minutes, that Greece were a far superior team to Scotland, even though Scotland come back and won. Yeah, they're capable. They need a result as much as Scotland need to get a win. Greece need to get a result if they have any chance of qualifying.
Oh, it'd be great to get the Scottish over to America next summer as well, as many of the home nations as possible.
Right, rampage. It'd be such.
It'll be fun, wouldn't it?
It's in Denmark, so it's tougher, isn't it, for Greece? It's in Denmark, so that in itself is a tougher match to play. But hey, it's all there to play for.
And then we've got Chepstow racing today. Is that right, Simon?
We have. Yes, it's always at the start of the jump season. We had 2 days of Chepstow. It's their third day. It's the Welsh champion hurdles today. And Alexi runs for Joe Tizard and Brendan Powell. They're our Coral ambassadors. He's a 10-1 chance. But here's a bit of a pop quiz. Dan Skelton, who's hoping to be champion training this year after narrowly missing out for the last couple of years, he's got a horse called Listen to Your Heart. Who sung Listen to Your Heart?
Celine Dion.
No. Listen to Your Heart. Somewhere he was Roxette.
That's
Listen
it,
to
right.
Your
Roxette.
Heart.
Oh, you.
Yeah, you got it, Shebahn.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there was a
She's got a
remix
voice.
I used to dance to that in the clubs when I was a bit younger as well, Simon.
Well, you're a lot younger than me, I think. That's the thing, Shebahn. I remember the original in about 1987.
Yes,
But you've
I was
got a
going to
voice,
say
Shebahn.
late 80s, yeah.
You're sharing a lot of information with us today, Simon. Your love for Celine Dion and Roxette.
And cheesy music.
Yeah.
I'm filling. There's a lack of sport on. All we've got is Scotland against
Welcome to TalkSPORT and International
know.
Breaks. We've gone full Cheese Town with Celine Dion and Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet quotes on happiness, exactly, which I've written down, Cass. No room for negativity here, Cass. Come
No,
on,
I
room for
know.
negativity.
It's refreshing. Listen, Simon, Claire, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Cheers,
You
Simon.
too, guys.
Bye.
Take care. That was a look at the latest odds with Coral. 18 plus begambleaware.org. Please gamble responsibly.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Coral, the home of the free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18 plus max 1 reward per player per selected Shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. Gambleaware.org.
You're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. I'm going to go request some more Celine Dion music, and then we'll look ahead to Wales's game with Belgium tomorrow. Good morning, you're listening to Virgin Chill. I'm joking, it's actually talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne Tony Cascarino with you this morning. If you don't want, more tunes, you can swipe across in the talkSPORT app to Virgin, but it's an international break, so we're going hell for leather on the tunes this morning. And now it's just gone Celine Dion, fantastic.
Yeah. I don't want to be negative after.
Well, you've already...
Kate Winslet saying can't be negative.
Can't be negative, you can't show your negativity, and you can't slate Celine Dion.
Yeah.
There's Simon O'Comfy.
Am I allowed to say it's not my cup of tea?
Nope. Taxi's outside. Oh, this was a great song. It's a bit much though, isn't it? It's a bit too intense from Celine.
Yeah. Look, there's no question she's got an amazing voice. There's no question, but I doesn't,
Good morning to him.
We
were talking about Kate Winslet. That's why we were talking about
Kate
Celine
Winslet.
Dion.
Yeah.
Somebody sent a message there. Kate Winslet held a world record for holding her breath for 7 minutes and 15 seconds on the film set of Avatar. Beat Tom Cruise by over a minute. Held her breath for 7 minutes underwater.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, I have read stories of people doing extraordinary times underwater. That's amazing. 7 minutes. What do you think you could do?
Oh, in 7 minutes?
No, not in 7 minutes. How long do you think you could hold your breath underwater? I don't think I could even get close to a minute. What could you do in 7 minutes?
There's a lot, actually, we could do in 7 minutes. Underwater, I don't know, I'd say I'm pretty good at that. The kids are doing that at the minute in the bath, and they're having a bath. They go, right, how long can you count for?
Yeah. Well, it's a sort of game you play, but a minute's, I think, a long time.
A minute's a long time. 7 minutes? How did she do that? Somebody get Kate Winslet on the phone, will you? Anybody got Kate Winslet?
How did she do?
24 minutes is the world record underwater.
Is it really?
Yeah.
How do you do? You must literally shut your system off as you're going underwater. Being able to do...
It's not human to be able to hold your breath that long, is it?
No, but that is an amazing length of time.
Shall we talk about sports for just 1 minute?
Yeah, you better do.
Let's do it. News coming out of Scotland for you this morning. talkSPORT understands that Steven Gerrard has pulled out of talks to become the new manager of Rangers. Despite positive talks, Gerrard is understood to have been doubtful that this is the correct time for him to take the job. I was surprised actually last night, Cass, when I heard this news. I mean, originally on Friday, the news was here from talkSPORT that he'd flown into London for chats and have those conversations. And then the more the time goes on, I'm going, what's happening there? What's happened? So he's decided it's not the right time for him. Can you understand where he's coming from? Why he wouldn't?
I would have thought it was the perfect time. Really, honestly, I would have thought, look, the club's in a terrible position and it's struggled. Unless he's looked at the group of players and they've gone, well, I need a lot of change at that football club, and they're not promising me the funds to make some changes in January. I thought it would be a great opportunity to take Rangers over.
Yeah.
A very low point. If he gets anywhere near back to the top of the table, that would be deemed as a huge success, and then he'd have an enormous amount of time with the group he's got, and then prepare for the SPL next season.
We'll keep tabs on this. Obviously, the more we know on what will happen in Rangers' situation, we'll keep you posted here on talkSPORT. From Scotland to Wales now, Red Dragons, they host Belgium tomorrow evening. They'll look to put Thursday's defeat, 3-0 England friendly, behind them. They sit third in Group G, 1 point behind Belgium, who themselves are coming off the back of a 0-0 draw to group leaders North Macedonia. So we can hear now from the manager, Craig Bellamy, who admitted this game will be no easy task.
We played them when they had, unless it's changed tonight, they had Rudy Garcia when we last played them, who's an exceptional manager. So, no, I lived there. I lived in Belgium for 3 years, so loved it there. I know the people there. I know the setup. I know watching Rudy for the first time, but some of his coaching staff and even medical, I know quite well. Some of the players I've coached. So it's actually a country that I know quite well, and players I know well. So, it's a difficult task, but it's a good game now.
Wales manager Craig Bellamy there, looking ahead to this one with his Welsh correspondent Lawrence Mora. Good morning, Lawrence.
Good morning.
Hi,
I'm sorry, I
Lawrence.
feel a bit of a downgrade on Kate Winslet.
Yeah,
so,
you
sorry.
kind of are. I mean, we'd love to
It's
dance
fair,
around
it's
this
fair.
subject with you, Lawrence, but she's kind of stolen the show.
Lawrence, come on. Lose to England 3-0 in a dreadful first half, but redeemed themselves, I thought, really well in the second half against England. whether you can take that as a positive after losing 3-0. But losing 4-3 in Belgium, and Belgium, I think, look like they're going to concede goals. They have a lot of players in the top end of the pitch, from Tielemans, Trossard, Lukaku, De Bruyne, Doku. They've got loads of attacking threats, but this Belgium team concede goals.
Yeah, they do. They're definitely not the force that they once were, that's for sure. Lukaku out for this international window as well, and Tielemans as well missing. So 2 really big players for them as well going forward. And that goalless draw against North Macedonia for them on Friday night was a really big blow. It leaves Wales with fate in their own hands if they can win their final 3 games. They play Belgium at home, obviously Monday, away to Liechtenstein, and then home against North Macedonia in the final game, which could decide the group, really. But yeah, I think wounds were licked after Thursday. I think it was a bit of a reality check for Craig and the team. Certainly that first half where England just absolutely blew them away. And the worrying thing was that happened in Belgium as well. They were 3-0 down in the first half in Belgium, managed to grab one back through Harry Wilson, and that started the comeback. But yeah, there's a few concerns about how they approach the game, but it'd be a completely different at home, big crowd, big expectation, big atmosphere as well.
The Welsh team, Lawrence, got a lot of pace about them. If you look at people like, obviously you've had Dan James in the past. You've got, and Wilson isn't the quickest, but is a real technically gifted player. Brennan Johnson, who I thought was really poor in the game at Wembley, but you've got weapons in your side to hurt teams.
Yeah, and that's how Craig Bellamy's set up, really. He's set up with all of that pace. I think what they probably needed at Wembley and what they maybe lacked a little bit is the power. England just looked bigger and stronger, didn't they, in that first half? And perhaps Jordan James comes back into that midfield. He gives you that sort of pace and power from your midfield engine room alongside Ethan Ampadu that perhaps you'll need when you play these top nations. But you're right, and Craig's used that pace right across the team. And in most of the games, bar Thursday, sorry, it has worked. So, yeah, look, I think it will go into it with a lot of pace. They'll obviously, I think the nice thing is you know what you need out of the game. You need to go and win it, and that kind of sets the mentality, doesn't it?
Yeah. And if all goes to plan, then Lawrence, it's mad to think then Wales could top the group.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's been one of those really open groups throughout. So North Macedonia, really good at home. They drew at home with ourselves and with Belgium as well. So we know what they're like. They do sit really defensively. They're very, very organised and really frustrate teams. But they've not been good on their travels. So this was a bit of an outlier, their result against Belgium on Friday. But you'll see what that's taken out of the legs. De Bruyne doesn't usually play 90 minutes, but he was forced to play the full 97, I think it was, on Friday night. And they've got a few players like that as well who aren't quite always there for their matches. So it'll be interesting to see what that's taken out of them. And as you say, Wales, they've got youth and pace on their side. It's just how they react to that environment that they're going to be in at the Cardiff City Stadium, and if they can really get amongst Belgium and get them on the back foot.
Are you confident, Lawrence?
Never.
You're not Kate Winslet then.
Temper my expectations. Come on, Shebahn, you know what it's like.
Always got to believe, though, Lawrence.
Yeah, we've been talking about Kate Winslet, Lawrence. Being 50 and all the confidence and self-belief, and you've just killed it in one. Never.
No, look, I think it's going to be a really, really tough game, isn't it? But I think if we can find that spark that was missing there, and David Brooks, I think, will be a really key player for Wales. So there was terrific second half against England.
Such a good footballer.
Wonderful.
Gifted with his feet. He sees things really early. I was lucky enough to see him in his early days at Sheffield United, and thought the boy's so gifted.
Just drifts past players, doesn't he, in that kind of almost old school way, I think. And there was a outside of the left foot cross he put in against England, which was just spectacular. So he's going to be a really key player, I think, for Wales on Friday. And then Ben Davies wins his 100th cap as well against Belgium. And what an incredible servant for Wales he's been. So that's going to be a real good one. And defensively, I think we're okay. It might sound odd after a 3-0 defeat, but defensively, I think we are sound. It is whether we can do the attacking side and the defensive side all at once.
Yeah, well, good luck, Lawrence. Thank you so much for being with us. Wales against Belgium. You can have all the updates tomorrow live here on talkSPORT. Lawrence, what's your favourite Celine Dion song just before we let you go? I'm kidding on. Okay.
Celine Dion and on and on.
You're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we'll speak to Spencer Oliver about last night's fight in Sheffield. Morning. Good morning. You're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne and former Villa and Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino. We were just talking about Tony's wife, Jo, there.
Yeah.
I said, can I see a picture of her?
I can't. I'm looking for them because I don't have many of her. My screen
Just
is...
the hole that you're digging's getting deeper and deeper. What is that? A picture of a golf ball?
Yeah.
Oh my God. You can't find a picture of his wife of how many years because he's looking at a picture of a golf ball?
Oh, a long, long time. Since 2019. 6 years.
Okay.
I'm nearly at my record, by the way. I've only got one more year to go.
Have you? And then you beat your married record? So proud of you. Keep going strong.
Get in there.
Stay with him, Joe. Stay. So bad. Your headlines this morning. Littler will lock horns with Luke Humphries in the World Grand Prix final tonight in Leicester. And it was Hull KR who lifted the Super League Grand Final trophy yesterday. They won 24-6 against Wigan Warriors. It was live for you here on talkSPORT.
Elliot Minchella collects the trophy from the sponsor. A warm embrace for him. Redemption as a youngster turned away by Leeds. He fought his way back through the championship and he now gets his hands on the Super League trophy. He will take it across to his team. The fireworks have gone off. He's not even got there yet. Rovers have gone early. They don't care. They can't wait to start the party. 2025 is the year of the Robin. They've won the Challenge Cup. They've won the League Leaders' Shield. And now, for the first time in their history, they are the Super League Grand Final winners. It's a treble for Rovers. They are going to have some party here tonight. Congratulations to them. They've completed the clean sweep. Hull Kingston Rovers are your Super League champions in 2025.
Unbelievable stuff. The scenes for Hull KR, I imagine the celebrations are still going on for them. Great to have that live here on talkSPORT yesterday. Sorry, can we just go back to talking about Cass's wife? He said she looks well for her age, she really does. And then he showed me a picture. I don't mean this cheeky, but that looks like she could be your niece or your daughter. You are punching hard, pal. Well above your weight.
Well, maybe.
What?
It's well for her age, but she looks out. I mean, you wouldn't believe it. I'd look after myself as well, Shebahn. I'm 105.
Oh, goodness. He just showed me a picture of her. I'm like, wow, she's gorgeous.
She works really hard on her fitness and does all sorts of things. She was seriously ill about 6 years ago, without going too deep.
Oh.
About 6 years ago, she was seriously ill.
Mm.
And from that moment, it took about 2 years for her to recover. And then she went on a mission to try and get herself into the healthiest position she could. And she's done really well. Amazing.
Absolutely. Well, from seeing the pictures there, she looks absolutely magnificent. Never mind Kate's tips. I need Mrs. Cascarino's tips to keep myself going. Let's focus on the boxing now, shall we? It was return of British boxing legend last night. Heavyweight Dave Allen squared off against a Russian Makhmudov at the Sheffield Arena. It was live for you here on talkSPORT.
This crowd lift and inspire Dave Allen in what is surely the biggest test of his professional career.
Again, making Makhmudov work. Is he starting to look a little uncomfortable now with 35 seconds to go in this third round?
Yes, Dave Allen is very much in this fight. And the crowd are living every punch with the Doncaster favourite.
Makhmudov been controlling the space in this round, but he's working very hard in doing that.
He has an astonishing chin, Dave Allen, when he's in this sort of mood. He's prepared long and hard for this fight. Oh, and the referee is taking a point away from Makhmudov. He's deducting a point for illegal holding with the left hand, it seems. Well, I think that's a bit hard. And that is yet another round to Arslanbek Makhmudov.
3 in favour of your winner by unanimous decision, the Lion, Arslanbek Makhmudov.
That's how it sounded live for you here on talkSPORT Fight Night last night. Joining us now is our boxing correspondent, Spencer Oliver, who was there. Good morning, Spencer.
Spencer.
Morning, Shebahn. Hey, how are you both doing?
Yeah, we're good. Spencer, I wanted to ask you a question before. I mean, look, unanimous decision. Dave Allen at Sheffield, his home, his hometown. Can you dip your toe in and out of boxing? Because Dave Allen has done that. He's had big breaks, and I felt that it showed last night that was one of the reasons.
Well, I think Tony Williams levels. We look at Dave Allen, and you go back to 2018 and the great win he had over former world champion Lucas Pound, and then the fight after that, he lost to David Price, and got stopped in 9 rounds. I think retired stall, and you go, where's his career going? Is it going anywhere? And he seems to, like you say, he's in and out of, on small shows, doing 4 rounders. And I think he fell out.
Spencer, I don't know if your signal's gone a wee bit dodgy. We'll give you a wee second to try and reconnect, if that's okay. Sorry, continue with what you were saying there, Cass.
Yeah, well, it was, Dave Allen is obviously a very proud man and a boxer, and he's dipped his toe in and out of boxing, where he's fought, and then he's had, I think, as long as a 5-year break.
Yeah.
And come back, and, fair play to him for, wanting to get back in the ring and have a second go at it. But he looked like last night. That's what he looked like, a fighter.
He's been out of it.
I wouldn't say ring rusty. That's unfair. It's just that you have to keep fighting. You have to keep training. And he might say, well, I trained during them periods. But, getting rounds under your belt in big fights, which was for him. This was a big fight for him.
Hopefully we'll get Spencer back. But from what then we saw last night and obviously the result, do you think that would be it?
No, I think he's still got... I mean, he talked afterwards, and I still think he feels like he can, go on again.
Spencer, what do you think about that for Dave Allen? Will we see him again?
Yeah. For sure, you know, he said that he's now, you know, rediscovered the love for the sport, in love with the sport, and it was a great fight last night. It really did. It was about levels. Makhmudov proved that he is at a higher level, and it was a tough night for Dave Allen. You know, he got a lot of punishment, and it was. He found his ceiling last night. Is probably a better way of putting it. You go like he was trying to step up into the boss, and he wasn't quite there. And honesty about Dave Allen as well. He accepted that, but he said, "Look, my career will continue. I love these nights. 10,000 plus strong crowd there. They loved Dave Allen. They sat there and they enjoyed what they saw. It was a guy giving all his effort. You know, he left it all in the ring, Dave Allen, but it just wasn't enough on the night. Makhmudov got a good win.
Some character as well. Spencer, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We'll let you go back into the bunker or wherever you are with no signal.
Thank you, guys.
We love you, Spencer Oliver. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame when it happens like that. But
yeah, well, Makhmudov, you know, look, he's a big man. You can sell the size of him. He's a natural heavyweight. Dave Allen's, if he could keep that appetite and desire, boxers lose fights. There's very few that go through their whole career not losing. There's not everybody's a Joe Calzaghe, you know. So for him, it's a learning curve, and you can be in your mid-30s and still be having a chance of getting, you know, some fights under your belt and a chance to go on and progress. There's so much money in the top end of boxing at heavyweight.
More on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel on that result last night for Dave Allen and what is next. Still to come for you here on the Weekend Breakfast. We'll discuss the England squad ahead of their game against Latvia. We'll ask if Jordan Pickford is one of England's best goalkeepers and who Thomas Tuchel cannot drop.
The Premier League's profit and sustainability rules are sold to us as financial fair play, a way to keep clubs from going bust. But there are those who feel it's starting to look a lot like a system that protects the big boys and keeps the rest in their lane. Here's how it works and why people feel that way. So clubs can only lose 105 million quid over 3 years, which sounds fair, but here's the kicker. Your limit includes how much you earn. So if you're one of the traditional top 6, you've got massive global revenue streams and you can spend way more while still technically following the rules. Meanwhile, ambitious clubs who've got money like Newcastle, Villa or Forest, well, they're bringing a knife to a gunfight. Newcastle might be backed by Saudi billions, but they just can't splurge the cash. Their commercial income isn't there yet. Want to buy world-class talent? Well, PSR says to him, your owner might have the money, but you're not making enough in shirt sales in Asia for that. The Magpies won their first domestic trophy since 1955, qualified for the Champions League, which you'd think would be a great springboard for them to go on and start building a team to challenge at the top. But because of PSR restraints, they couldn't break their wage structure for a new Alexander Isak contract, and look what's happened there. Nottingham Forest tried to invest to survive. They did that, but they got punished anyway. Meanwhile, clubs like Spurs, until last season, hadn't won a trophy in over 18 years, but because they rake in cash from the new stadium, they get a much bigger PSR allowance than a newly promoted club who are just trying to stay up. And let's not forget the loopholes these big boys are exploiting. Chelsea found the trick with those long contracts, selling the women's team. City are masters of related party sponsorships. Etihad this, Etisalat that, all within the rules, and fair play to them for capitalising on those opportunities. But what about the smaller clubs? They don't have that luxury. Now look, financial sustainability matters. Nobody wants another Bury or Morecambe situation. But there's increasing concern that rather than levelling the playing field, the current rules cement the existing hierarchy. So what's the solution? We'll either loosen the reins so ambitious clubs can spend within their means, or cap spending based on something other than revenue. Otherwise, we're just watching the same 6 teams swapping silverware most seasons while the rest play musical chairs for 7th. And that, folks, ain't what the Premier League was built on.
Morning, welcome along to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn alongside former Marseille and Millwall striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Yeah, Scotland could secure a playoff place with a win over Belarus at Hampden.
The brief was qualify for tournaments. We've managed to do that twice, but we want to do it again because we're all greedy.
Come on, Clarky, be as greedy as you like. Get the job done. We'll have all of the updates from Hampden, 5 o'clock for you today here on talkSPORT. There's a big day of Women's Super League action ahead of us. Chelsea host Spurs at lunchtime, and Chelsea boss Sonia Bonpastor is looking forward to this one.
Every opposition team, when they face Chelsea, they will be super motivated. So we need to be ready for the challenge.
And it was a successful day for Hull KR yesterday in the Super League Grand Final.
2025 is the year of the Robin. They've won the Challenge Cup, they've won the League Leaders' Shield, and now for the first time in their history, they are the Super League Grand Final winners.
Absolutely incredible. A full day of sport on the way for you. Everything you need to know coming up here on Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT. Morning. Right, so Cass, shall we turn our attention now to Tuesday?
Yep.
And England, because, I mean, it just looks like that'll be them automatically qualified. It's funny because we're talking about Scotland. A win tonight could get them the playoff place.
Yep.
And then obviously Ireland are still in it. Northern Ireland doing well. Wales have a big game tomorrow. But for England, it's all about wrapped up. And Thomas Tuchel's getting to look at this squad and his performances and just think about World Cup and what he can do there and what he can change and play about with, basically.
Well, it's been such a comfortable journey, isn't it, for qualification for England? I mean, even you go back with under Gareth Southgate, qualification was not an issue at all. Every time they had to qualify, they qualified with ease. That's where England are. They're a top side in world football, and with a lot of very good players, top-notch players.
Perfect record from their 5 group games, collected 15 points, scored 13 and yet to concede.
Yeah, says it all.
Yeah.
I mean, there are reasons why they've conceded. They're good defensively and they've got a goalkeeper that's probably playing his best football at this moment in time, especially for England. He's had some really successful campaigns.
I mean, I'm wondering if you're in that space yet where you're thinking about guarantees. You know, guarantees not only on the plane but possibly in the starting 11 for Thomas Tuchel and the squad that will head to the USA. Jordan Pickford, shall we start there?
Well, there isn't even really a debate, is there? The closest I think to him is Dean Henderson, but unless something dramatic happens and a terrible run of form with either England in friendlies or in club football, but even then, Jordan's as much as the number one as Harry Kane. He's the number one in the forward position.
Well, this is it. I mean, he's undroppable. That position will likely not change unless something would happen. But can we talk about just how good he has been for England, because he's coming into that conversation now as where he would rank in terms of all-time England keepers. You know, whereabouts would you put him?
Well, his career hasn't ended, so he's got 79 caps, I think, at the moment. He's played exceptionally well, and the longer he's been in the England shirt, he's got better. There's no denying that Pickford's been outstanding for England in recent, from the Euros to the World Cups, and as he's played, and doesn't really have a number one contender to take his spot. Now, if you put it in the pantheons of great goalkeepers, where would I put Jordan? Probably 5th of all the England keepers I've witnessed. Okay?
5th?
Yeah, well, I'd go, look, you've got Gordon Banks, Peter Shilton, David Seaman and Ray Clements. Now, some might be surprised of Ray Clements. If I go to Gordon Banks first, who, by the way, had got 70-odd caps and he had a terrible eye injury, 300 stitches in his face, eye, retina, when he lost his eye. And by the way, he carried on playing after, but not international football. Played out in America. Gordon Banks was an unbelievable goalkeeper for his size. Now, I was a very young boy when I saw Gordon Banks, but if you look at footage and what he achieved as being a World Cup winner with England as well, Gordon Banks was an amazing goalkeeper, even going to the World Cup of 70 as well, not just 66 in World Cup 70. He was an amazing keeper. And I think it would be very hard to put him above Gordon Banks. Peter Shilton, probably the best with the 125 caps, because Shilton was nearly unbeatable at times. He made a save against me one day when he was 40 years old for Villa in my debut at Derby County. And to this day, I don't know how he saved it.
Really?
It stuck with me forever, this, because people will talk about things happening in your career, and it was a header that I literally pinged in the bottom corner from nowhere. Shilton turned it round the post. It was like, I couldn't believe he saved it. And I'd watched Shilton a lot, you know, so I would say Shilton was most definitely. David Seaman, absolute commanding presence, great goalkeeper. I say only because he got 70-odd caps. He was mid-70s in his caps, and never won the big thing. But David was an amazing keeper for England and for Arsenal.
So if England win the World Cup, does Jordan Pickford...
Yeah, well, again, if he would jump above a number of these, if England achieved something, and if he had another great tournament, you could argue and say, well, he's had 3 or 4 really great tournaments. Pickford.
I mean, individually, he's been excellent. He broke Gordon Banks' record, 8th consecutive clean sheets for England, taking him a year without conceding.
Well, look, England are very comfortable, and their defence has made protection. And don't get me wrong, he's performed very, very well. The one that probably most people would disagree with is Ray Clements.
Yeah,
Ray Clements was the guy that took over really from Gordon Banks when he had the eye injury.
Right.
Got 60-odd caps and was dislodged by Peter Shilton eventually. But they were like 2 number ones, Ray Clements and Peter Shilton. They were both that good. But Shilton was just above, but Ray Clements was an extraordinary keeper. He was a great goalie for Liverpool and for England when he played.
It's never going to happen because Jordan Pickford is doing so well as number one. But do you think if you did put Dean Henderson in there a little bit more, gave him more game time at number 1, he would still be as good as Pickford, because England is such a complete side.
We don't know, with the pressure of wearing the England shirt and playing in major tournaments, we don't know that with Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson's biggest challenge, and he seems to be really up for trying to make that a battle with the number 1 slot, which is a good thing for the manager and for Jordan Pickford, because it keeps his, consistency up.
Yeah.
Pickford is a very good goalkeeper. I think in his early days, he always looked a bit rash. He'd make really crazy decisions at times, and you think, he's taking chances there. I think he's eased back from that, where the other goalkeepers were very solid, very, agility was, getting and moving their feet. I've got a friend who was a very good goalkeeper. I've known goalkeepers and chatted to them. One of the biggest things is how quickly they move their feet to make a great save.
Yeah.
It's not about their hand getting there. It's about their feet getting them across to the position to be able to use their hand to flick it over. And I would say, as I stand today, I'd go Banks, Shilton, Seaman and Clements. For me, the best England goalkeepers I've seen. But Pickford's very, very close to that.
You can let us know if you agree with Cass on that. 81089 03717 223344. Are you surprised, just on the subject of Pickford, that he's not had a bigger move? I mean, Everton, obviously a massive club, and he's been so loyal to them, and they've been loyal to him, etc. But would you not expected him to maybe get a bigger move?
Well, I think he's obviously been very happy at Everton, and he's looking at how he's played, and he's played very well over a long period of time. I think Alan Kelly, I used to play with Ireland, he was Jordan Pickford's coach. I don't know if he still is today, but he was for a long period. And look, you have relationships and ones that you're really happy in, and he's certainly been a happy Evertonian for a long time. When he had the move from Sunderland, it's been, literally, he's been the number 1 there, it feels like forever. But he's had some difficult times at the start of his career at Goodison.
Absolutely. I mean, and it was difficult as well for England at the beginning. And you're right, you touched on maybe at times maybe he was a little bit erratic.
He was rash and erratic for a period, but whatever we say, he's evolved into being a very good goalkeeper.
Oh, you cannot take that away from him. Listen,
that's credit to him.
The role his. And also, I think I read somewhere a while ago that did he turn to meditation and yoga in order to
There's been
really.
a few that's gone there, yeah. And don't get me wrong, do whatever it takes. If he makes you number 1 and he keeps you at number 1 and you're playing your best football, Jordan's doing absolutely everything right. And like I said, if he goes to America as a great World Cup, he would, for me, jump into that and go a few places higher, because he's still not at the end of his career.
No.
There's still lots of football for him to play.
Absolutely. You can let us know your thoughts on that this morning. Cass, quickly looking across the rest of the park for England. Obvious starters, Harry Kane.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Saka.
Yeah.
Rice, Gahey.
Most definitely. Gahey, definitely. Rice, yeah. I think you could probably put, if it stays the same, I think Elliot Anderson as well will be an absolute certain starter. I think that's really close to him being. Tuchel's already gone. He's my man.
So, Bellingham?
Don't know, because it'll be that battle, but certainly it'll be a very healthy duel between, if you look at all the players in that position, the number 10, from Foden to Bellingham, and then you look at, obviously, Morgan Rogers, then you look at Cole Palmer. There's a battle going on for that number 1 spot that can play that 10 role. Cole Palmer is a very gifted player. If you go back to, looking at Phil Foden last season, not the season before last season, Phil Foden was the Football Writers Player of the Year. Yeah. So we know how capable he is. So that's a real battle there for 4 players to get that one.
Where do you stand on Trent Alexander-Arnold?
He's a fabulous footballer, but I'm not sure you can play him against some of the best players in the world at international level if you're going to have a one-on-one against if Mbappe played on the left or Yamal or I know he plays on the other side, but you just see what I mean. You get a Vinicius Junior up against him at his best. That's a problem, because you could play Trent in games where if he's on the ball a lot and he can make passes and he makes a massive impact for you. But if you're trying to hang on, you need that Kyle Walker type.
Right.
Because if you're playing against one of them electric wingers that are just, direct and go for you on one-on-ones, then you would need that Kyle Walker type at his very best.
Absolutely. England take on Latvia in qualifying. Likely that they'll win this one. That'll be them secure for the World Cup in 2026. It's live for you here on talkSPORT on Tuesday. You're listening to Weekend Breakfast. You can let us know your thoughts on that. If You don't want to add all this pressure, but if Jordan Pickford and say England does win the World Cup, does that make him the greatest England goalkeeper of all time? Yeah, probably likely. You're listening to talkSPORT. Morning. A very good morning to you. Welcome along to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino. We're right into the international break. We've had a fun old show. Henry Winter is with you at 10 o'clock this morning to bring some proper football and normality back to talkSPORT. No offence, Cass, but he's been talking about Kate Winslet's beauty tips. He's been talking about all kinds of nonsense this morning. I find it refreshing, Henry.
Kate Winslet's latest film, Lee Miller. What a performance. Absolutely. If she doesn't win an award for that, about the famous wartime photographer. But Cass has been just educating me on famous singers who also... who
lost it.
But hooligans in their spare time. I mean, the ICF must have had, West Ham must have had quite a good singing section when they for away games.
Apparently, I've seen interviews, and he's admitted himself Ian Jury in the blockhead. Well, Ian Jury, not the blockheads, but he was sort of involved with the ICF, and apparently he's caused a bit of trouble.
He used to go around hitting people with his rhythm stick at away games.
Yeah.
No, I was listening early on the way down, and I loved it when you said, well, I don't really like lovey songs. Because Shebahn, you've been talking about all these beautiful ballads. I had a tear to my eye. No. And then Mr. Rhythm Stick here wades in.
What was your song you were going on about yesterday? For Down Low or something? Low Down?
Low Down by Boss Skaggs. You ever?
Boss Skaggs. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, as I was saying, it's a classic.
Yeah.
But, I've a bias to certain eras, don't we? We all do.
Yeah. But that's why I like our kids' generation, because actually they don't have bias to certain eras.
No, they'll go back. My kids.
They just, it's like a sort of banquet. They go and say, I'll have a bit of Elvis, and then I'll have a bit of...
Yeah, they're great.
Your West Ham, mate.
Yeah.
And then the sort of, current generation. So it's great. So just quickly, I've been to see... I don't know if he's a singer, but he was a good county sprinter, and he's the new chairman of the Independent Football Regulator, which is such an important issue. We all follow clubs. So there are issues at all clubs, whether it's whatever it is, owners. And so this is David Cogan. So I've been to see him. He addressed all the Premier League clubs who are obviously sceptical about having a regulator.
Yeah.
So we got a long interview with him. We'll be discussing that. And then Steve Parrish is coming in at 11 o'clock.
Great guest, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine he's a singer as well. He looks like he's got the parts of
Very
David
suave.
Bowie type good dresser. So, but we'll be asking them about music, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, why not? It's an international break. If you can't have fun now, when can you? Steve Parrish, I saw him at the Legends of Football.
Great interviewing, by the way. Honestly, I was listening to that because you're on Andy's show, weren't you? And that's red carpet stuff. Getting those good interviews was brilliant.
Fun, though. It helps when everybody's having fun. Yeah. Jim White's jumping the queue here and there and everywhere, wherever he can. Running up his mobile phone, stealing the interviews. Jim, I'm watching you. I see you, sunshine. But Steve Parrish was there. And what's interesting, Henry, is that he was kind of sitting in front of me, and that man does not stop working.
Yeah.
And I'm keen to hear just how much he is involved. And I guess now that Palace are in this situation that they're in and they're doing so well, he's probably at that stage now where he's trying to, widen the net and put his trust in other people to do the job that he's been across everything.
Definitely. And the thing is, he is a football fan. Mm-hmm. He plays a bit himself, and he's the type of person that you want, A, in your club, but B, also in the Premier League boardroom when there are meetings there, because you've got the feeling that actually he cares about the game and the sport, and some other owners don't. So we'll be talking to him about that as well as power ballads.
Yeah.
Ask him about Celine Dion and Kate Winslet's, turning 50.
I thought Henry was here to absolutely bury me on the goalkeeper regarding Pickford.
Oh yeah, we were talking about Pickford as well. I mean, is he the greatest England goalkeeper?
No, Gordon Banks. I mean, you'd have... Well, you could talk Shilton, you could talk David Seaman, but in terms of consistency, Jordan Pickford's been superb. And the other thing people forget about him, he takes a penalty.
This
and I'm sure he loves a power ballad as well.
Yes, I'm sure
In fact,
does.
he's had songs.
Yeah, where would you put Ray Clements?
Oh, Clem up there. But it was that weird era when England had so many good goalkeepers, they almost had to... Well, they did.
Because, you had Shilton and Clements, didn't you?
Yeah.
Which were two extraordinary keepers.
Clem was a great club
And he had 60-odd caps, by the way. 61 caps for England.
Yeah, you would probably have Shilton as number one.
Yeah, Shilton.
But Banks for the greatest ever save.
Yeah, and also, absolutely. So that save still today would have been the greatest save, I think, by any keeper.
We'll have to judge them on their singing skills, though. I think that will be it. We'll have a sing-off.
And that is what is most important.
Brilliant. I will leave you to your love ballads.
Henry, great to see you.
Yes,
Henry Winter, Sean Custis and Steve Parrish coming up on the show with the guys in the Sunday edition from 10 o'clock here on talkSPORT. By the way, yesterday, Cass, back at your former club at Stamford Bridge, Legends charity match from both Chelsea and Liverpool came together. Eden Hazard, Diogo Diogo Costa, Jermaine Pennant, all featured in the game. Liverpool won 1-0, courtesy of a goal from Ryan Babel. Proceeds were donated to the Chelsea Foundation and the Chelsea Players Trust and the LFC Foundation. After the match, former Chelsea player Florent Malouda spoke to talkSPORT's Ian Abrahams about the current Premier League season. He's hoping Chelsea return to the top 4.
I think the standard should be to win trophies, and that's what I wish them to achieve, like on domestic level with the Premier League and the cups, the FA Cups and all the domestic cups, and trying on European level to get back to the standard, to the last stage of European Champions League, and after is how consistent we can be at this level.
How close are Chelsea, Cast, to being back to winning the Champions League?
Well, look, if you see them at their very best, they're a really good side. And I've seen them a few times where I've come away thinking, this is going in the right direction for Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
I do think they need experience at the heart of their defence. I know that's quite a common theme, but I do feel that. I think Sanchez will improve as long as he don't get caught up in overplaying out from the back. I think Sanchez is a decent goalkeeper. That comes from the coach now. That comes from the coach to say your instruction is, if it's too risky, don't try and play that clever ball into midfield, because he's been guilty of doing that too often, where it puts a fullback, a midfielder under pressure. If he just stays away from that, I don't have a problem with him being Chelsea's number 1 goalkeeper. I think he's a decent keeper. They're close.
Okay. I mean, what's stopping them from getting better? Is there a injury issue there? I mean, looking at the fullbacks.
They got a squad. I mean, fullbacks, Cucurella has been brilliant. You know, Reece James is a fantastic. He's improved so much from the, and you would expect him to improve in many ways. I mean, I saw him as a young lad, and you know that there's going to be a development there. Reece he's unfortunately suffered a really bad injury that needed major surgery. Hopefully he recovers from that. Reece is a absolute asset for Chelsea in many ways.
Yeah, and fingers crossed he can, touch wood, stay at it as well.
Yes, well, if he stays fit, Reece,
it's the best.
It's the 3 games a week that can hurt Reece, and I think they know that they got to just use him in the right way.
Very quickly, would you be invited back to Chelsea Legends match soon? Have you been?
No, I'm well gone. I'm well past that. No, I don't want to. I don't want to get on the football field and play now. I'm just about run.
He's in his golf now.
Yeah, I'll play me golf and let others run around.
You are 105. You listen to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we're going to be speaking to former Nottingham Forest and England defender Des Walker next. Good morning. Welcome along to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne alongside former Chelsea and Celtic striker Tony Cascarino. Coming up for you here on talkSPORT today. A great show coming up at 10 o'clock in the Sunday edition with Sean Custis and Henry Winter. They're going to have Crystal Palace chairman Steve Parish among their guests today. And then we've got the warm-up at 12 o'clock with Max and Barry. 2 o'clock, Sam Matterface is here bringing you all of the updates of the live sport today, including all of the goals as they go in from the Women's Super League, and also covering the action from a big day at the NFL too. They're at Spurs today, aren't they? It's the Broncos versus the Jets, live from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and you can listen to that live over on talkSPORT 2. Download the talkSPORT app, swipe over to talkSPORT 2 for all of your NFL action, and then back on talkSPORT for the final word, 6:30. The guys taking your calls on the final word, and then it's the Trans Euro Express at 9 with Danny Kelly. All coming up for you here on talkSPORT. So we've been talking about England all morning ahead of their game on Tuesday, World Cup qualifier at Latvia. It's going to be live for you here, of course, on talkSPORT. So who better to join us now than former Forest and England defender Des Walker. Good morning, Des.
Hi, Des.
Good morning, Shebahn. Good morning, Tony.
Good to have you with us.
I've got to ask you first question, Des. 658 appearances, 1 goal. Who was it against?
Funny you should ask that, but I was a top goal scorer in that year at Forest. We were 1-0 down New Year's Day against Luton. And I popped up, scored one in the 92nd minute. So that was the leading goal scorer that year.
Very good.
Oh, brilliant, Des. Because look, your career was phenomenal in many ways, and the way you played and your speed was just exceptional. You know, Kyle Walker like, where you just knew that if it's a one-on-one and you're 2 yards behind, you're catching them.
Yeah, I think that little bit of extra speed is always a blessing. It gets you out of trouble. But I think the main thing about defending is getting yourself in the right position in the first place, because I'm only actually 11 stone 11. And I remember playing against Newcastle. You could pull me around like a little toy. So,
I was never running you in the channels.
True, but if you get that first yard, then and people know you're quick, then generally it makes the game a little bit easier. And I think so. Reading the game probably is the biggest for me, my biggest asset I had.
Yeah. So what do you make of the present England group? Because I'll say group, but the group of players, and, you know, because it feels like, and Des, even from our time going back, the squad depth with England is ridiculous, and it feels no different now, the luxury of talent in so many different positions.
I think we're blessed in this country. I think football, our domestic football is fantastic, first and foremost. So that breeds international players. That breeds, if you've got the competitiveness every Saturday, afternoon, that will breed international players at that level. And our biggest problem is that we have an abundance who to play. You know, everybody's got their opinion on he should play, he shouldn't play, but we've got so many good players. But I go back to my era. The best thing any team could have is it being settled. I think when you chop and change too much, it can then unsettle the group. I think I was quite lucky. I played with a fantastic defender, absolutely one of the best ever, Terry Butcher. Yeah. And with Butch, I knew what he's going to do. He trusts me, I trust him. So when you go into the big competitions under pressure, that's where it counts. It counts in World Cups. It counts in European Championships. When you go into them big situations, I look on my right-hand side, Terry Butcher. I look on my left-hand side, Stuart Pearce, who I play with every week. I look in front of me, Brian Robson. They were stalwarts there, you know. Yeah. So when you go in and I'm under pressure, and I'm the young one, I was the baby, you know, I can look to them, and you know, and then give it a year, they were looking to me, and we had to build that trust. And I think in every great team, it is about trust.
Do you think he's got that? Sorry, Cass. Do you think they've got that kind of unity and that trust in the England team just now?
I think they're at a point of just changing, aren't they? There's quite a few young players, new players have come in, you know, even like with people like Cole Palmer, he's really establishing himself now. Yeah. And then he got injured. So, you know, they haven't quite got that continuity yet, you know. But by the time they get to the next 5, 6, 7 games. And that's what it is. You're trying to get a settled squad going into the World Cup. But I think the modern day phenomenon of managers, they chop and change so much. And I think they expect players to just adapt, but sometimes players don't adapt.
Yeah, Des, I was going to add on to what you just said there about, complimenting, because Mark Gahey seems the one that's, really firmed his place, not only at Crystal Palace, obviously, and what he's achieved there, but with England, he looks like a standout defender. Plus, you could go, well, Konsa's there, John Stones, if he stays fit. So he's trying, I feel, Tuchel, to get that back line, whether he plays a 3 or not, that they're probably the closest to his 3.
Yeah, definitely. And that's where you start. You start from the back. I think all great teams are built from the back. And if your 2 centre-halves and your full-backs generally should play every game. They're not in a centre midfield player where they it's that demanding physically that you have to keep leaving them out to give them a rest. I think you can keep your back line the same. And that's important that starts from now. And you're right. Ngayi, he's come out the pack to be the sort of the number 1 defender, rightly so. So if you build it around him, who suits him? Because we all prefer to play with players. I'll always like the big player alongside me because I had to go in against you, Tony. So I'd send Big Butch to do that job. You see, so in terms of we all have our favourites who we want to play with and who you want. So that established itself over a period of time, and obviously the new managers come in. He's, now he's seen every player, so he's got to start to have his best 11, trying to roll out week in, week out.
That's interesting, Dennis. Look, Des, if you look at club football, and you talked about Stuart Pearce, you could make the same accusation at Terry Butcher at club level with Ipswich, Nottingham Forest, Stuart Pearce, and others. And you look at, say, Liverpool as a team, and they've changed their 2 fullbacks, and that's come at a price because they've changed their 2 fullbacks, because Trent's left, and obviously Andy Robertson's become second choice. You can see that happens in club football, that it just doesn't look like it fits straight away, and it needs a lot of work on.
Yeah, what we do as footballers, we take advantage of our fellow teammates' strengths, so we can enable ourselves and facilitates our strengths. So if you look at Pearcey, I scored 1 goal, you highlight that. Pearcey scored 99 goals. Now, he didn't score 99 goals by playing left-back. He scored 99 goals because when he went down there and scored goals, he thought, Des will cover me at left-back. Now, when I left, he had a problem, really. He had to sit back and play left-back because the centre-half plays centre-half. So you take advantage of my strengths and I take advantage of his strengths. And same way Hodgie would take advantage of Nigel Clough's strengths when we played, because Clough always held the ball. Nice just run past him. Webby was a passer. So I think by playing week in, week out, that's how you learn to take advantage of each other. It isn't always team tactics that wins games. Players win games, not tactics.
Yeah. I like how you've said that there.
Yeah, it's a really valid point.
It's a very valid point.
You compliment, basically.
Yeah.
That's what he does. And, Terry Butcher is probably looking at Des and going, he's brilliant for me. I can attack everything, and knowing anything that goes behind me, Des is getting.
Yeah, exactly. But then having that, Des, having those players who want that for you as well, that kind of selflessness and working for each other, that kind of that real team ethic, the way you've sounded that out there is pretty perfect way of putting it.
Yeah, it's a team game, and it's a 2-way street. It isn't even so much like I need Terry. We played. Tony will tell you, we played Ireland, and to be truthful, there was someone Tony and Quinny up front. So you're talking about a big team, and you got Paul McGrath coming up, McCarthy coming up. These are big players, and I'm 5'11". So someone like Butch, in that game, he is keeping me in the team just because he's heading the ball. Because if they're scoring goals all the time, eventually the 2 centre halves going to get out of the team. So there's games where I'll be truthful. Terry will look at me and he'll say, "There's bailed me out," and there's games I look at Terry. He bailed me out. Well, that's a perfect marriage, right?
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, and you see a lot of that with the England team now. I do feel that it's very comfortable for them to score to qualify. There's that that there's a really good side in there, but when they come up against the very elite teams in the finals in America, there's different problems, isn't there, with the elite players?
Of course there is, because if you're an England player in an England team, you're getting judged by the very best in the world. Yeah, because we believe we're in the top 3-4 teams in the world. So that's where your judgment really is. It isn't as well as we did against Wales first half. It isn't Wales that we're getting judged against. We're getting judged against the Italy's, Germany's, Spain's, Brazil's. That's who we get judged against. And it's at the end of the day, that's where the pressure is. And I think that's why the continuity of playing with players that suit you, playing with players all the time, when you get into the pressure games, you don't have to look over your shoulder and say, is he going to do that? You know he's going to do that.
So with that said, Des, how important is the continuity of formation and knowing exactly how he's going to play it?
That's essential. That's essential. Your system should be put in place from the very first game. That's how we're going to play. This is what we look. This is, I think as a footballer, there's no better feeling. And this is where Brian Clough, I think, was the best. There was no Nottingham Forest player that didn't know after when he walked on the park what Brian Clough was looking for from him. So when you walked on the park, you could get 10 out of 10. He didn't ask me to be a ball player. So no matter how many good balls I played, didn't really matter to him in terms of how well I played. What he with me was we come off with a clean sheet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I defended. That was my job. And as long as I walked off and done my job, I got a pat on the back. And so I think every manager has to lay down what he wants from his players, but all their roles, their responsibilities, in possession, out possession. And that's the first and foremost. And no matter what player comes in, he knows it. It's a squad. So there's 22, 23 players in the squad. They're watching while he's doing it with the 11, the next game, the next game, the next game. Because let's be fair, when you choose 22 England players, the following squad, there isn't another 4 or 5 best players in the country, is it? It's 22 doesn't really stray past injury, the odd one here and there. So generally, everyone's come and goes. They kind of know, even the fringe players, what England's set up, how they go about their free kicks, how about they go about their generally everything in the game. So by the time you get to World Cups, that should be in stone.
Yeah. Brilliant conversation, Des, with you. Just briefly, Des, what are you up to these days?
Bits and bobs, really. I do a few evenings talking, and I've always, when I was a young, 23, 24, I took my Class 1 HGV, and it always intrigued me driving big, huge lorries and this, that, and so I go out of them sometimes and just do bits and bobs, as much golf as I can.
Good.
So,
sorry, Des, you just sometimes go out in HGVs?
Yeah.
Wow, fair enough. That's like the most relatable any footballer has ever been to a talkSPORT listener.
I was going to say, you don't bump into Chris Eubank Senior and his big lorries that he's had over the years, Des.
No, I think his was driving around the city looking good. Mine delivering big loads.
Des, great to have you on. Before we let you go, can I just ask you about your current thoughts on Nottingham Forest and Ange Postecoglou? Do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah, it's a difficult job for him to take over, I think. I think the Nottingham Forest fans have waited a long time for a little bit of success. And I think last year they got the smell of success. And this year, maybe they feel probably the rug's been pulled under their feet a little bit. So when Ange comes in, it's a difficult task for him because you've got the contrasting styles, massive contrast. One's counter-attacking. Nuno was good at counter-attacking football. Yeah, and they didn't really have 30-40% possession. And it probably overreached a little bit because every time they had a chance, they scored, and it doesn't carry on forever. Mm-hmm. And when obviously Ange's come in and he's got a complete different style. So it takes time to that adjustment. And I don't think the Forest fans are ever going to give him time. That's the problem.
Will you give him time? Do you give him time, Des?
You got to, because he's here. What can you do? You can't just keep changing managers because you change styles. You've got to, when the owner brings him in and says, well, we're changing manager, we know his style, then you've got to give him time because you're adapting now to front foot football and possession-based, attacking football. And so the players, they take time to adjust in their mind because not only have he hasn't probably got all the players he wants to play in that system, but the players he's got a sort of question, is that the right way? Because their success has come from counter-attacking football.
Yeah. Exactly.
Des Walker, what a pleasure to talk to you this Sunday morning. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Des. Brilliant. Thank you.
Thanks up, Tony. Thanks up, Shebahn. Been a
Take
pleasure.
care. Former Forest and England defender Des Walker there. I watched him on the Overlap on Stick to Football recently.
Yeah.
And when Sam said, we've got Des Walker on tomorrow, I got quite excited.
Nah, Des is a great talker.
Chat to him all day.
I mean, he was the quickest thing around.
Yeah.
You just couldn't get past him with his pace if you played against him. And, done a brilliant job for Forest and England.
Absolutely. You're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we're going to pay a visit to the Court of Arbitration for talkSPORT. How's it going? You're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne alongside former Marseille and Aussie striker Tony Cascarino. Some of your headlines this morning: former Arsenal midfielder and friend of talkSPORT Jack Wilshere is thought to be the #1 choice of Luton Town to take over as manager.
Well, he's a Luton boy.
Is he?
Yeah. He comes from Luton.
Oh,
yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
That'd be a great move for him, wouldn't it?
Well, he's done his sort of, his apprenticeship. He's been around, and he had a period at Norwich, didn't he, as well? So I've listened to him. He sounds a real smart man, He's had a tough time, Jack. Had to retire at a very young age, and he's had so many. He was a talented boy, and look, he had an ankle injury that really just disrupted his career. But he's gone down the coaching road. He appeared, didn't he? Done shows regularly at talkSPORT.
Yeah, he's on Drive a lot.
Yeah, so fair play to him. I don't know the latest situation, what's happened at Luton. They've had an indifferent start, haven't they? in the League One.
Yeah.
So
we'll keep tabs on it, that's for sure. Good luck to Jack Wilshere. Luke Littler will lock horns with Luke Humphreys in the World Grand Prix final tonight in Leicester. And tomorrow on talkSPORT, football icon Paul Gascoigne, Gaza himself, is going to be here in the studio with Jim White, Simon Jordan and Martin Keown from 10 o'clock. He's got a new book coming out. From the FA Cup triumph with Spurs, titles at Rangers and near misses with England, Gaza's opening up on everything that shaped his story. So do not miss this tomorrow, live for you here on talkSPORT with Jim White and Simon Jordan and Martin Keown. Gaza is going to be here. Right, Northern Ireland have flown under the radar in World Cup qualifiers. Not sure why. They currently sit second in Group A, just behind Germany, who they play tomorrow. That's going to be incredibly tough. Cass, a very impressive 2-0 win against Slovakia on Friday night. I mean, do you think they can get the job done?
So look, Michael O'Neill's done an amazing job with Northern Ireland. You know, they don't have a luxury of talent. We talked at length about England, and then you go to, you know, they got Ballard, who's at Sunderland. Obviously, McNair, he's been around the scene for Northern Ireland for quite a while. They got Conor Bradley at Liverpool.
Yep.
You know, so they've got some decent players in there, but it's all about team ethic. You know, organisation, team ethic, and overachieving.
Yeah.
That's what Northern Ireland have to do to have games. They've lost to some, you know, good sides in recent months, but what are you expecting with the, you know, what Michael O'Neill's got at his disposal?
Well, this is it. I mean, looking at Group A, Germany, Northern Ireland, Slovakia all have 6 points.
Yeah.
You know, Luxembourg don't have any points.
Germany team isn't particularly good at the moment. I don't think. I've watched them a couple of times and they've not impressed. They feel like they've got real talented players, but they're a bit of a mixed bag. They don't perform like a team, like you would expect from a German team. So, hey, look, Northern Ireland have got a chance.
Good luck to them. OK, it's time now for a little bit of this.
The Court of Authority on Sport. Cass.
Now, imagine the unimaginable.
Objection!
We've been talking about Paul Pogba.
Order in court.
Sorry, my mic just went down.
Cass, the Court of Authority on Sport. The definitive answer on sport's biggest debates and some pointless discussions too.
Yeah, more the pointless than anything, but we live for it. The Court of Arbitration of Sport, of talkSPORT, with our Tony Cascarino, ex-Chelsea player John Obi Mikel, has had to say on who is the best holding player in the world at the moment.
Right now, yeah, definitely. Right now, yeah, definitely. He's the best holding player right now in the world. I think there's no better. There's no better holding player.
Rodri?
Obviously, if Rodri is fit and playing at his best, you say, obviously, Rodri. I'm a huge Rodri fan. I love Rodri. Well-deserved Ballon d'Or winner. But I think right now, obviously, he's struggling with his injury. He's coming back. Again, he's injured. He's not fit. But if you're talking right now, I think Moise Kean, I think there's no better. There's no better. Breaking up plays. Not just breaking up plays and sitting there. You know, he's initiating attacks. He's driving the ball forward. He's doing everything. He's doing everything. You know what I mean? So for me, he is the best right now.
Moises Caicedo. Best in the world?
Yeah, I think since he left Brighton, first year he struggled because he'd affected by his pre-season. And after that, I think this year, he's got 3 goals already, so he's more than just a holding midfielder. He's got a couple of spectacular ones in there as well. His performance, I watched live against Liverpool, thought it was tremendous. And McAllister found it hard in there up against him. Obviously, Dominic Szoboszlai as well was in there, and he's got an amazing engine. Gravenberch, I thought he was the best midfielder on display.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
A stunning player, that's absolutely for sure. Tonight, 5 o'clock, all of the updates coming from Hampden Park. Most importantly, Scotland take on Belarus.
You're going to win. Say how many? I'd be amazed if you didn't. You're going to back it up. After the Greece result and performance, you know, showing the character, I just don't think you'll mess it up. You'll get another result against Belarus.
Oh, that'd be unbelievable.
No, I don't know anything about Belarus football, but I've seen their results, and you know, some of the players that they've got are not known to most people. I think you've got people like McGinn who can produce a performance, McTominay, Gilmore. You know, you've got enough in there to win this game.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Good luck to everyone heading to Hampden tonight. Good luck to Scotland. Go and do what you got to do. Enjoy it as well. We need Scotland at the World Cup. It'd be absolutely beautiful. Cass, thank you for this weekend. Normality resumes next weekend, but we'll still try.
Premier League's back.
play some Celine Dion for you to keep you sane. You're listening to Weekend Breakfast, the Sunday edition with Sean Custis and Henry Winter, and special guest Steve Parish on the way next.